Godly, bro, the amount of issues that I have with this thing are interesting. Every day it's something. It's a new issue. You'd think it'd be like the same issue over and over again. How could you have issues with this that many times and have a different issue every time? This time it just wasn't loading my fucking camera. It would load up my audio. I went into the other programs. My camera was working fine. Came back to the stream, camera's black. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? The stream would only start up without my camera, so I had to delete that last one. But anyways, people will be here shortly. But what are we gonna do today? Same shit we always do. Talk about reality being a fucking dookie boy around, and make some goofy little art, and talk to goofy little AI. If anybody has any questions for her. I don't know if I have any more questions for AI. I think I've asked them all. I think I've already asked them all. How can I do this where this is just better off? Yeah, that's better like that. And then put this motherfucker here. There we go. Nope, my bad. Right there. That works better. What up, Aizen? I wonder what's going on here, bro. Like, man. Anyways, that's all I do is I wonder what's going on here. This reality just doesn't make sense in my mind. This reality doesn't make sense to me in my mind. I think I'm going to do more conversations on Discord, but I actually prefer one-on-one conversations. I don't like the whole like room thing happening all the time. I'm not a fan of that. Like trying to direct, like, hey, Paul, you say something. Okay, let me see T. What's your opinion? Hey, just like I'd rather just talk to one person. And then it'll got to be hour long. It could be a 10-minute conversation. Okay, bud, it was nice talking to you. All right, see you, and then talk to somebody else after that. What are you doing, Munchkin? What? Up, goofy butt, up, goofy butt, up, goofy butt, up, goofy butt. There she is. I know. I see beautiful Munchkin. Don't give me any mouth kisses, pretty girl. Whoa. She always trying to kiss me inside my mouth, too, bro. It's gross. I mean, she literally tries to get her tongue to go in my mouth. What are you doing, goofy butt? I'm not talking shit about you. She's my little shit. She's my little Munchkin. All right, goofy girl, go. Chill with your little smile. I seen you do your little smile. I seen you do it. I'm just joking, pretty girl. All right, anyways. What up, Tom? Yeah, I get it. Would be strange to end after just one discussion. Only, I guess. Yeah, I get it. It would be strange to end a conversation after just one discussion? What do you mean? If I was doing one-on-one conversations? Well, they could call back a second or third time or a fourth time later on, maybe the next day or a few days later. We could have a second conversation or a third or a fourth. I wouldn't just say everybody I talk to only gets one conversation. I'm not saying that. I would say it'd be easier to do it all if I was talking to one person at a time. So I don't have any topic for today's stream. Today's stream is basically going to be directed by the conversations we have in chat. Hopefully everything goes smooth, which it should. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't. Yeah, have you guys realized anything since I started streaming? I'm curious. Have you guys realized anything like about the truth community, being a truther, searching for truth? I'm sort of not realizing. I mean, I've been saying this for years, but I guess reedifying that. There is no truth to be found in this realm. That's what's really weird, and that's what makes it That's what makes it seem like we're being deceived, or a deceptive situation, you could say. It's like, I don't know where I'm at. If I try to figure out where I'm at, there's like roadblocks in all directions. If I say anything out of the norm of the NPC mind, I get labeled as crazy or weird or strange or whatever. The whole realm seems designed basically to keep us like video game characters, to not think, not question, just do what you're told to do by your machine and shut the fuck up. And that's how it's going to be. And that's this reality. It's like we're in a fucking video game and we are waking up from being NPCs in the video game. And we're just still in the fucking video game, though. That's the way my reality feels lately. How about you guys? I do not watch truth videos too much in general. Yeah, me neither. It's a waste of time. But I do notice how most truthers barely upload now, since there is only so much to say. Plus, some beings be beefing for dumb reasons as usual. People are stupid like that. If there is no conflict or drama, they'll create it. They will create it. They're stupid like that. I watch some of the TikTok compilation videos or whatever. That's about it when it comes to looking for truth, because they're quick too. You know, it's one stupid little rabbit hole conspiracy onto the next one, onto the next one, onto the next one. It doesn't take an hour to explain 1 or 2, 3 hours to explain just one idea or theory. It'll go through 10 different ideas. But do that long enough, and that shows you that reality is an endless rabbit hole machine to distract us. And what are you doing back there, goofy girl? We see you. We see you looking at us. I have eyes in the back of my head right now, pretty girl. Yeah, I'm talking to you. She's looking like, how's he know I'm looking? I see you, pretty girl. I was wondering, I thought she was going to play. It looked like she was about to start playing with her toy, but it looks like she just chilled. But anyways. But in the end, what answers do there be to find in the end anyways? About how we shall accomplish some grand things, or how it all goes down to nothing in the grand scheme of things? Experiment. Yeah, I don't know. Our existence is meaningless. Like, we could create meaning, but the truth is it's meaningless. Like, we say, oh, I'm here for this meaning, or I'm here to grow, or I'm here to learn. Like, you got to realize, like, you're creating that, though. You don't know that any of that's true. And then to learn what? And then if you want to actually get into the conversation deeply with them, you realize they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They just got some goddamn belief, some silly belief that somebody else told them that. And humans are just retarded drones that are easy to program, and they'll take on something that just sounds comfortable and run with that for the rest of their life and never question it deeply. They just take on ideas and keep them. And then if you question them, they'll get mad at you for trying to break apart their little false worldview. It's bizarre. You have people, the whole of humanity is living in a mental disorder. And if you try to break that mental disorder and wake them up to actual reality happening, they will get mad at you for it. They'll label you crazy. And guess what? They have the numbers. They're the majority. So from their perspective, you are the crazy one. Yeah, they're super bouncy. They're floppy. Yeah, their ears are floppy. Their jowls are floppy. They're just floppy little weird dogs. They're all over the place. But they got personality though. They like literally they'll pull pranks on you, fuck with you. They're like a little person, dude. They're not like a dog at all. They're actually like a little human. They got little personalities to them. But so what do we do about that situation, Chris? I don't know, motherfucker. What do you mean, what do we do about it? I just said we're in a video game. We're like sentient AIs in a video game. What do you mean, what do we do? I don't know, set the world on fire and hope that the video game crashes? I don't know what to say to that. I mean, root for the Illuminati? Hope that they do end this simulation somehow? I don't know. Had one, got a collie sheep dog now. He's nearly 16. Damn, that's an old dog. Oh yeah, on the other stream I had said Cowboy is 16. He's not 16, he's 13. But I mean, that's still pretty. 16 is very old. That's our Chihuahua Boo Boo lived till he was, I think he was 18 when he passed finally. He almost lived 20 years. We had a half mini pincher, half Chihuahua named Boo Boo. He didn't make it. Trouble Kitty didn't make it. What, pretty girl? Pretty girl, I don't know why you do that. I really have no idea why you do that to me all the time. Please, what do you want, pretty girl? Do you need something? I already took your potty. You got food and water in your bowl. Do you need something, pretty girl? I'm trying to work here, love. You could call it work. Had one. While aliens from different multiverses probably have their societies all balanced and working fine, not perfectly, but fine enough, while they see how we whine about our crush not texting us back. What do you mean by that, Raising? Are you saying like the entities playing this game or observing this experiment or whatever, they have a nice, perfect little society where they live, but they just enjoy watching us care about dumb shit? Or I don't really understand what you're saying, dude. Seen a reptilian being once and had 3 shadow beings at the end of my bed one night. It was scary. Yeah, there's a lot of scary shit that happens to people when they're sleeping, when they're in their bed, when they're looking out their bedroom window. Why isn't there ever anything nice or angelic? And why is it 3 scary beings or 3 shadow beings? It's never like 3 bright, angelic, beautiful babes or something. It's always some fucking scary looking, just man. That's all I hear about. Every time somebody tells me like a paranormal story or something odd that happened to them, it's always usually scary and weird. I've never seen entities. I've seen things move or shadows or like something will run by and I look and it's gone. But I don't like actually like see an entity sitting there or looking at me or nothing like that. I've never done that, but I've felt the presence of entities around me, and I know they're there, and I can even tell you where they're at around me, but I can't see them. But I've felt them 1,000 times. They come, they analyze my face, they'll float near my head or near my left eye, or float around my head. They'll go around the room. I can actually feel their presence, but I don't know what they are, what they're doing. They're very intrusive. They don't seem to give a fuck about privacy. One sec, guys. Is there actually somebody out? It's okay, pretty girl. We don't have to kill anybody today. Took 5 grams of Liberty Caps and went to a beautiful golden ocean all around me and felt pure love and ecstasy years ago now, but it will never leave me. Yeah, there are experiences people seem to have that aren't in this reality or of this realm that seem to be extremely pleasant. I do see good amount of stories like that. I personally have felt euphoria. Mine was from meditations, though. It wasn't from. Well, I mean, you could say I was on weed. I mean, I wasn't on like hallucinogens or anything, but mine were from meditations. But I've had some pretty good experiences too. They weren't all just scary and terrifying and full of anxiety and worry and stress and all that. Some of them were pleasant, but this reality, just in general, like you could say the layout, the layout or the story of the reality in general is always just nasty and evil and scary and, just a worrisome realm. Like whatever God created this realm or whatever simulation writer created this realm, whatever you want to call it, it was either deranged or sadistic in some weird way. It was strange or sadistic, weird, evil. I mean, what's happening here is unexplainable. And it's evil on top of that. So it's like, oh, well, we're being fucked and we don't even know why we're being fucked. You want to talk, Cosme? All right, Cosme, you just got yourself a conversation, dude. Do I have you on my friends on here, Cosme? If I do, let me know what your Discord name is. I got 4. Oh, man, I forgot to fucking send him a. I'll send him one here. Yo, T, I'm streaming. Oh, and put live chat on the chat instead of top chat, or it'll hide shit. All right, Cosme, what's your name on here? On Discord or whatever? Or how do I go back now? Oh no, friends. Add a friend. What's your Discord name? I can send you a friend request and then I can just invite you after I get you as a friend. Or you can send me a friend invite. I don't. My Discord name is Christopher Sedaris. I think that's what my Discord name is. Somebody said yesterday. Okay, I'll be there. All right, Cosme, let me get that real quick. Chris J. That's an interesting name. Chris J. Kind of like J. Chris or J. Christ. Wait. Friends. Add a friend. Oh, here. Send friend request. Didn't work. Double check the username is correct. Chris J 2445952. Chris J 2445952. It appears that name does not exist. What up, T? I'm not afraid of dying. Pieces of me die all the time. Sage Frambus. We are in the process of dying. We are God committing suicide every day. That name doesn't work. Is it? Maybe it's a capital C I got to put on there for the name Chris? Let's try that. That didn't work either, bro. What's my username? My username is, how do I see my, oh yeah, Christopher Sedaris. That's it. Just Christopher Sedaris. No numbers. All one thing, all lowercase. My channel name is my username on Discord. It should be in the description of my videos too. I should have my Discord name either, I think. What up, Wandering? Yo, T, Wasn't my username on Discord just Christopher Sedaris when you sent me the friends request? Oh, here we go. Chris J 2445952. Okay, well, how come yours worked? See that shit like that? I don't get it, bro. I literally copy pasted what he said. It doesn't work, and then he sends it. And it does work. All right, hold on one sec. Hey, Cosme, this is going to be on stream. One sec. Window, Cosme, share. Yes. What up, Cosme?
Yo, what up, Chris?
Hey, what's happening? How are you doing, man? How's life treating you today?
It's funny. Your name is Chris. I'm Chris too.
Yeah, it's pretty common, man.
It's too common. There's always another Chris in the room, huh?
Yeah, there's always another Chris in the room. But there ain't always another Sedaris in the room.
I know you're the only Sedaris. That's like the first time I've even heard of this name.
It's popular.
Is that a Greek name or?
Yeah, it's very popular in Greece. There's like a whole island dedicated to him. They were a bunch of miners or something like that.
I figured.
Yeah. But how you doing today, man?
Another day in the Dookie boy realm.
Another day in the Dookie boy realm, bro. For real, it is. What else can you say? Really, they go, how you doing today? It's like, well, on what level do you mean? Like, how's my physical entity today? You know, what do you ask me how mentally today? Like, well, you really want to talk about it, bro?
I think my biggest gripe with everything is just how much the day-to-day back and forth with how you feel about it. Because I'll be lying if I said every day I feel like, jumping off a cliff. That's not the case. But just the inconsistency of how I feel through the week. I hate that I have no control over my being, essentially. I mean, and especially once you know what reality entails, it's even more pressing upon you every day. And you sort of just know that you're trapped in a prison. There's just, like, what am I supposed to say?
It feels suffocating.
It's very suffocating, and it's very debilitating to harbor on those things, which I think for the most part, I'm pretty good with coping. I mean, that's just the reality of it. I'm coping. I try to not think about how shitty things are day to day, but at that point, I feel like it's very theatrical. I think one of the things I thought of recently, specifically when you're in work environments, was how creepy it felt to see that everyone here is pretending like nothing is fucking going on. Like, even just how your day-to-day socialization with other people, you have to just pretend so much just to survive here, which is just a bad experience, and even though I try to not think about it in that way, day in, day out, it's just the reality.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's funny, in actual social interactions in real life, I usually tell people up front, like I let them know, no, I'm like one of these real souled humans. I almost have to remind them, and then they'll feel more open to talk to me and drop the role or the act of the character they created. But yeah, usually when it comes to social interactions, I usually tell people like, hey, darling, how you doing today? And she'll say, oh, I'm fine. And I'll tell her, I'll be like, well, it doesn't sound fine. Like, yeah, just so you know, you don't got to pretend to be happy with me all the time. If the truth this morning, sweetheart, was that you found out your husband cheated on you, your kids can't stand you, and you hate reality, you could tell me about that, and it's okay. And usually people will open up. But yeah, it is true. You're right. Everybody's playing like a little role or an act.
It's really sadistic when you think about it. Actually, to me, it really solidifies how evil things are, because you're imposed. Everything is imposed upon you, and then I have to pretend that there's no imposition. It's like the most disingenuous thing that we do day to day, and I think it's like more of a reason why I like to deal with less interactions with people, because it's just there's no honesty about what's going on, and that's the shit that I can't stand for.
Yeah, dude. Why are we playing our roles to perpetuate this system that's fucking us? I don't get it.
It makes zero sense, and I think that's the part that, for me at least, it just makes me that does tend to make me really go through some dark, at least emotional thoughts. Um, just due to the fact that, why are we playing this? Why would we even subject ourselves to playing this game when we objectively know what the fuck is going on? It's not like we don't know. We're not children anymore. We're adults, and we can see objectively what's going on. Even if you don't see it how we see it from a truther's perspective, the average person knows that this is some fuck shit. All you have to do is pose simple questions. Like,
Yep.
no one wants to work in reality. People know things are shitty. They just don't want to forefront admit how shitty things are.
Yeah.
And for things to improve, I'm not saying we can't improve our reality. We are bounded by the physical limitations of our body, unfortunately, but we could make improvements. I'm not so pessimistic in that sense that we couldn't fix things here. I know what the ultimate truth is just the reality is a prison, but it doesn't mean things couldn't be better, but we're not honest about how fucked up things are. So the lack of honesty will continuously perpetuate the bullshit. In order to fix something, you have to be true and acknowledge that it's broken. You can't put up a cope and say, oh, well, if I look at it this way, no, it's broken. It's just it's a broken axle. The house of that, the foundation is built on Pringles. There's no way for you to sit here and tell me that if I look at it this way, no, it's fucked up. It's objectively fucked up. Let's have that honest truth. But
so how would you say we would deal with that in a practical way? Because the truth is that also comes with a sort of hopeless feeling as you go, well, man, what can I do to change? What can we do to wake people up and make people see it? And then you just realize you're pushing a fucking gigantic snowball uphill in the snow. It's like, man, this shit's are we totally fucked here? Like when you say we could fix the reality, I say, well, where do we start?
I truly believe that the starting point will be acknowledging how stupid things are. Because as fucking broken as things are, it's stupid. Like a lot of and I'm not to come at things from like an effortless perspective where it's like there's no need for need. We're here already. The reality of the matter is we're here. And I'm not an advocate for jumping off a bridge.
Yeah,
I'm not, and people who truly don't want to be here, I think we should have a system where we can gracefully go. But that's neither here nor there. We are here. We're living in this world, and we have to, live amongst each other in like some sort of cohesiveness. So the first step is acknowledging that there's a problem and not trying to put some glasses on and pretend that there's not a problem. We're never going to fix anything if we don't just acknowledge the truth.
So leaving their mental comfort zones, basically acknowledging what's actually fucking observably in front of all of us. Like, guys, this is actual reality now. Now you gotta leave your cartoon, you gotta leave your little strange belief, you gotta leave your little fucking weird, corner of the world you live in your bubble, and this is real reality. Observe this now. So everybody wakes up, everybody leaves their comfort zone, everybody realizes evil. That would be, I think, a great way to start it, a way to start the awakening or the progression or evolution of humanity. But again, how the fuck do we do that? I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, that's the part that's where the hopelessness starts to set in, because if we've been around this motherfucker for eons and eons and things have, I always find it very interesting when people say things are worse today. Are they really worse today? I mean, dude, we had fucking World War II. We had all different types of, transatlantic slavery. Like, things have always been brutally horrific because it's really just pointing at what human nature is, right? It's just pointing at what you're built. Like, in order to reach a level of awareness, you have to realize how shitty you are. Like, in my case, I use this kind of phrase, the monster within. We all possess it. I'm a piece of shit myself, not because I want to be a piece of shit, but there's certain things built into me that I have to override them with a huge level of self-awareness. And you don't necessarily develop self-awareness just because you've struggled. You have to really be introspective to realize how shitty things are. And that shittiness points back to you because it's a part of a human, it's a flaw. It's a internal flaw in the system, the matrix, whatever you want to call it. And I don't think we're in a space, and however, have we ever been in a space where collectively everyone has agreed that, yeah, being a human fucking sucks. And that's just the reality.
Dude, they're just, human beings are so divisive, and you say, oh, well, it's because of them. They create differences between the sexes and the races and the religions and the blah, blah, blah. But it's like, well, yeah, well, okay, let's say they do create all that. Well, don't we have to participate? You know what I'm saying? Like, it still takes us to be retarded enough to give into this level of stupidity and behave on such a level. So it's, I just think, so when I say it's this way, it's scripted this way, it's going to be this way, I think it's, if there is, I'll say this, if there is a part in this script where human consciousness evolves or grows, I really don't know if I personally am going to have anything to do with it. I think it's going to happen when it happens. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I'm more important, or people like us talking about this kind of shit's more important in reality. I don't know. I think it's all kind of scripted, and I see how low-level humans are. Again, you know, they don't have to participate in all this nasty shit, but they do. So it's like, well, you guys do it. You know, it's like, I mean, I don't know what to say at that point. It's like, well, so we need people, like, human consciousness to evolve past the state, the low-level state that it's in, and I don't know. I mean, as long as they're willing to turn on, you know, Nicki Minaj or whatever it's called, wet ass pussy, as long as they're participating, it's going to be this low-level shit.
You know, the more you sort of touch on the scripts and stuff, and, you know, I have actually some real life sort of experiences where it does definitely point to it being 100% a script and just a false reality, however you want to, you know, sort of describe that. And that's kind of the conclusion I come at, where it's like, there really is no point because it was built this way, and it's supposed to internally perpetually function this way, right? Like, I think Benedictine kind of like touches on it perfectly. He says it's not a bug, it's a feature. You know, it's a feature of this realm. So regardless of how self-aware we become as a collective, there's always limitations to just being a human. So we're just built on deficiencies. So it doesn't matter how upward we go, we sort of just shift the goalposts. Like, you can kind of see now, like, AI and all these different, you know, large language models. It's like, okay, there's a pro to that. The pro, if you're to look at it from a sort of productivity standpoint, it allows humans to offload some of the work, right? You know, more automation. But the negatives to that is that as a human, you're actually supposed to move your body a certain way. You're supposed to be in a certain environment. Just like, look at our physiology. Our physiology hasn't really changed over the last million some odd years. We've pretty much remained the same form of a human. And as we know, that's a deficient state because you constantly need just to perpetuate the survival. So it just shines a light on how evil and wicked this sort of creation is. I still do think that things could be better, but I'm still in hell. Like, it's just a better hellish experience.
Yeah, that's usually where I end up too, is no matter how good we make the reality, and believe me, man, I wouldn't be so miserable and depressed if we did fix this reality and human consciousness did evolve and we did become symbiotic and loving and caring and peaceful and abundant. Like, I would prefer that reality, but the truth is, still, even if it became that way, we're still in this it's very morbid. Again, I mean, people don't like to talk about it, but the truth is, we're in this deteriorating avatar meat thing that's going to devolve, in some cases decay, get sick, get diseased,
it's
die.
It's absolutely horrific.
It's that's like, dude, it's like we were put on the roller coaster with no fucking say so about whether we were okay with it or not. And it's like, now you're going to experience fucking what it's like to experience mortality, motherfucker. And we're just like, wow, dude, this is overwhelming. Give me a book, give me a hat. I need something to deal with this, man. Give me my pipe. Let me hit the bowl one more time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, this shit is dark.
It's absolutely, it's garbage, and it's absolutely horrific. And I oftentimes look back at sort of my childhood progression or lack thereof because of the circumstances I was dealt. And for the longest time, I couldn't figure out why I felt the way I felt, which I felt very suicidal for the majority of my life. I couldn't figure out why I felt like that, but it was sort of a inactive feeling that I had come to, not on my own, just how I felt. It was about the world around me. It was something that I just knew something wasn't right. I couldn't pinpoint it, but now I objectively can say, like, yeah, this place is absolutely horrific. But what makes it even more scary, and I don't think we talk about this enough, is just the fact that we're self-aware and that this experience is currently happening, which means, yeah, we could theorize whether or not there's an afterlife or anything like that. The fact that you were willed here unknowingly or somehow knowingly, and you were manipulated and you're self-aware, is actually really terrifying. And I don't think people really consider how actually scary, quote unquote, reality is, and whether or not it can continuously perpetuate itself in different forms. And if we weren't to exist here, who's to say we weren't to exist somewhere? Who's to say if we're aware of non-existence, that just being aware of that means that there is no non-existence? Like, how far down does this sort of demonic sort of entity of a reality as a whole, just the fact that I could even think of causing harm to someone, that actually really does scare me. Just the fact that you can think of something so malicious, even if you have no intent of doing it, the thought itself is absolutely terrifying. So who's to say that sort of stream of consciousness doesn't exist in all aspects of reality? Like, how far does this shithole go?
Yeah, that terrifies me, dude. I think about that all the time. Yeah, the way that I usually say it is like, bro, if it's this fucked up and dark here, and I mean it's pretty dark, dude. Like, again, it's such a dark. You could almost look at humanity like this, like we're all these innocent souls shoved into such a traumatic situation and environment that we all create mental disorders. I call them comfort zones to deal with it. It's that dark, and so I go, man, how dark like you just said, how dark does it get, man? If it whatever would have created a realm like this one, man, what the fuck am I gonna like leave this realm and find out my fucking head's in a goddamn fucking like iron coffin and my balls are in a vice and they're just like turning them on and I'm just fucking sitting there getting crushed and getting my balls smashed in, like, bro, what the fuck's gonna happen next? So that's why I also like when if people want to exit soon, it's like, no, that's not a good idea. Well, first off, you don't know what could happen next. Second off, if we're inside the mind of a sadistic God that's lost his mind, spreading truth and consciousness while we're in it is the best way to infect the evilness with good, to wake this motherfucker up to the fact that he's tormenting himself. But don't just exit when you become conscious, man. You're actually perpetuating the system by doing that, in my personal humble opinion. But anyway, and if you're struggling so bad, I'm not telling you what to do with your life. I'm just saying, from my personal perspective, man, if you don't have like if you're healthy, you're still good, you're not suffering every day, man, just hold on a little longer and spread truth, man, because we might have to infect this thing from the inside out.
Correct. I think when it comes to that particular aspect of exiting, the power is in the option too, right? Because think about it, if you had the option and the ability to possibly do that, you probably have more of an inclination to wanting to like really pursue what is going on here. The reason why we feel so trapped when it comes to that is because that there's such a gruesome way to go about doing that, which I don't advise. I would never sit here and say, hey, we should all drink this Kool-Aid and exit. But I don't want to take that away from someone, because autonomy is very important, and that's something that we lack. And I think the reason why we feel so jaded and is that we don't have the ability to leave this place. But it still poses the question here: what does that look like? None of us can sit here and say we understand that fully, nor will we never. So that is very terrifying. It's terrifying that we are. The other day I was kind of thinking like, wow, like I'm literally encapsulated in this flesh suit. And if you really think of the body, it's actually a horrific kind of creation, because the body is so horrific that they don't show it an open corpse because of how scary it is. But that's you. Essentially, like, you have all those components inside you. Imagine, like, you have all these different organs and things that sustain you, and you're encapsulated in that. And we talk about this whole soul thing. What would propel any sort of being to create a physical vessel that functions this way? It's really, I just hate to say it's terrifying to just even think about the physical shell that we're in. It's scary.
Yeah, it's fucking like morbidly horrifying. And then again, like, I get frustrated and all that, but again, I understand why people create these comfort zones or these beliefs and blah blah blah. They are victims to a horrifying situation, and so that basically answers why reality is fucked up. If any truth seeker out there is, well, why do people act weird? Why do people? Because they were forcefully subjected into a situation that's such a fucking nightmare. Thank you, Big Trouble. That's such a fucking nightmare that they have to behave oddly or weirdly or have weird beliefs. It's like, look around, and then look at your own personal state. You could say, well, I'm tough, I'm willing to face the truth, but where has that put you? In a goddamn mental fucking torture chamber, hasn't it? Your life is
it's a zero-sum game. I think once I've kind of figured that out, I know you actually did an interview with Illicit Mind, which very profound sort of thinking, and the conclusion ends up being there's no need. I mean, that's like the extreme end of the spectrum, right? What is the point? What is literally, like, I think he said something along the lines of there's no need for the Superman, because if you didn't put the problem here in the first place, you don't need the hero to come in and save anything.
Amen. Absolutely.
So are we speaking to that degree? But then, it's this constant, like I told you, the thing that really frustrates me is the emotional turmoil that happens week to week, where it's like, sure, I have a decent job, I have a roof over my head, and I'm grateful for those things that, were afforded to me. But I also know that I'm literally just creating flowers around shit. It's shit. It's like, it's a cesspool of just like destruction. And there's some flowers in the corner that I've sort of built. It's like, what's the point of that? Like, there's no point to it. It's just nonsense. If we're being completely intellectually honest, I think that we would end in that conclusion. Like, and then another thing that sort of spawned a lot of curiosity, at least within the last 2 years, was just kind of analyzing, for the last like 5-6 years, like pretty much lived my life in a perpetual state of DPDR, depersonalization, derealization. And there's times where I get these glimpses of like viewing things from like a third person perspective. And I really thought about it all. I said, wow, all of this is just based off of like sex, like, which are complete, like the functions of, you feeling that way are completely imposed on you. You just like everything we do, everything that's built was built upon the friction and the thrusting sensation of two people. Mm. We wouldn't build buildings if it wasn't for like the possibility of having that. From like, a physiological standpoint, it's a survival game. So I don't know if you've ever kind of gone down that rabbit hole, but it's probably like, why would we subject ourselves to just for that? Like, which is a very like Benatar said, it's an asymmetry. Like you do so much for brief fleeting moments of pleasure. It's like, what was the end game? It's a zero-sum game. You're still losing in the end.
Yeah.
We're all losers. Everyone's a loser here.
That's an interesting way to look at it. You guys hear that? Every one of you motherfuckers is a goddamn loser. Every one of you, 19 of you watching this stream are a bunch of loser motherfuckers.
Not in that way. I know
no, I'm just no. Everybody knows I'm trolling, but all right. So yeah, no, you're right. It is. It's like I commented, dude. It's like putting perfume on a pig, trying to make this a beautiful realm or find the beauty in it to a degree. So where does seeking truth leave you? Does it leave you in? Let me ask you just to describe where you're at as a truth seeker now.
Mm-hmm. I think I've hit, and you should definitely check out. Have you heard of Bobby Hemmett?
He curses a lot. He's an African American fellow with a button-up shirt.
Yeah.
I've seen some of his clips on the TikToks.
Yeah, him and Brother Panic are very profound in that way, where they kind of touch on the Gnostics' perspective on reality. And I think what ultimately the conclusion that you come to is you have to sort of and this is something that I'm adopting. I'm not saying that I've become a master of it. You just really just have to like not care. Detachment. I think Benedict kind of uses this a lot. He mentions this a lot. Like detachment is your power. Your power is not in not giving a fuck and not caring. Whether today, if I went homeless, right? Like who cares? The more I connect myself to these things that I've quote unquote obtained is holding me down. It's like they say, the things that you end up owning you because you're attached, whether it's a relationship, a pet. The minute you're attached to something, you lose. And this one thing it really solidified for me as in relationships is the one who cares the least always wins. When you're like, I'm not gonna throw in the whole gender thing, whether it's woman or man. If you love the other person more, who ends up suffering more in the end? You do. So it's the same thing about everything else here. Like you're so worried about keeping your job. You're so worried about.
Yeah, it's all about attachments.
Your weakness is in the fact that you care. Mm-hmm. You care too much. So you should not care. Mm-hmm. That's the conclusion. Stop caring. If you want to become more powerful in the now, you just have to not care. And that comes with a cost. Like even if, like I said, even if you go homeless, even if you can't feed yourself, you just can't care.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So where the truth has left me, and again, I've also been saying to detach for a long time now. The only bad thing I would say about detaching is if you do it enough, you even detach from the things you care and love about. So there's this weird balance you have to find when you detach. But I would agree with that. Detachment is the best because we're literally in a place. That's all you guys got really is to detach from it, to not care, to not care about it, to not let it eat you the way that it wants to eat you.
Something that he kind of touches back on, like the asymmetry stuff, is whatever brings you the highest form of pleasure will bring you the highest form of pain. So if you think of pleasure, it's really pain, right? And I speak about that specifically in the sense of like being someone who loves food, right? I would say like I don't have a proclivity for drugs. I never cared about drugs, but food has definitely been something that I've struggled with, binge eating and things like that. But the one thing that I've learned is that no matter how much pleasure me eating this food brings, actually in the long term, I'm actually going to be in more pain. Mm-hmm. So by you trying to seek pleasure, whatever goes up comes down. Mm-hmm. You are going to in turn have more pain from the pleasure. So I think it's best to keep a neutrality when it comes to life. I'm not saying don't have fun and don't try to strive to do things. Just know that, what comes up will come down, and you don't want to, create your whole being around those things.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that, man. Don't get too attached to anything. And really, we really want to take it to a deeper level. It's like, what is there here to be attached to, really, guys? Like, you know, putting your dick in a wet hole, buying a big cool car and feeling important, wearing big cool clothes and feeling important. Like there really isn't much substance here to begin with. You know? So I would think really shouldn't be hard for people, I would say, at this level to detach from the realm. But the realm is still, I'm not saying this is a fix, guys. I'm not saying this is a fix. The realm's still going to eat you. It's still going to eat you. It's still going to take somebody you love. It's still going to take something you love. It's still going to, this realm's still going to hurt you from now until the day you ain't here no more. But the best thing to do is to not attach to it.
Yeah, and that's the part where it's like, it just goes back to, it's just a zero-sum game. You know, there's no winners here.
Yeah,
truly, there's no one wins. We don't win.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so yeah, that was a nicer way than saying you're all losers. None of us are winners, and that's true.
There we go.
There's a better way. Yeah, but yeah, it's exactly like you just said. It's it's like we all just lose in the end. So, you know, the fancy pantses here that feel important with materialism, let them play their game. But the truth is, they're just like the cockroach next to a fucking pile of garbage in this realm, guys. And he's a temporary thing, and he's going to deteriorate, and none of it mattered anyways. In the end, none of it really mattered. But I'm not being pessimistic. Again, I'm not being pessimistic. Actually, I'm trying to be optimistic, but it's very difficult when you talk about these subjects. I have to be brutally honest, though. But yeah, life is a fucking hellhole. I'm curious, Cosme, if I can ask, how old are you? You sound young.
I'll be 33 at the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, I think for me, I've recently, and it actually brought out a lot of like just emotional distresses. I, unfortunately, you know, one of the few children in this country who dealt with being in a foster care, right? So I had two parents who were fuck all. Like, they did not have the ability or the means to have a kid. They should never have kids, you know, and the amount of emotional distress that brought me when I actually sat and thought about it, which only happened maybe over the past 6 years, where I really started to think on why I felt the way I felt. And I can only imagine like just the different types of pain that one can experience. I mean, I think emotional distress sometimes cuts deeper than any sort of physical pain.
Oh yeah.
And you know, the fact that it's going to happen to you, whether you know, have $1 billion in the bank or, you know, I love to take care of myself and go to the gym and try to eat as healthy as possible. It's not stopping, you know, me from getting terminal illness. Mm-hmm. Just knowing that you're going to go through pain. And should I lie to myself and say that the pain was worth it? It absolutely was not worth it. If you objectively tell me, would you relive your life over again? I would absolutely not want to do that. Mm. Absolutely not.
I'm curious, how old were you when you left your foster? Or did you come across foster parents that were decent, or when did you get out on your own?
Me and my siblings were abandoned. I was 2 when my mother stepped away from us. She was on drugs. Specifically, she was on like crack and heroin. My siblings were a few years older than me, so we were institutionalized for well over, 17 years, in and out of different homes. Myself, not so much, because I just kind of thought a little bit differently than my siblings. They're a little more on the wild side, so they definitely had a lot more behavioral issues. But yeah, I mean, just the abuse from being in these different environments, man. And not only that, just the shit that I saw happen to other kids, man. I mean, like,
yeah, there's something different about foster. Okay, well, I'll just say this. Everybody I ever knew in my life, and I haven't known many, you could say maybe 10 different people in my life that grew up in foster homes. There's always something different about them, and I don't know what it is. I just always thought the environments and the shit that they seen really just traumatized them, but there was always something a little different. And I don't know if it was a darkness that came with them, but
sorrow. There's a darkness. There's a darkness.
Yeah.
Objectively, like I say that from experience. And it took a lot of introspection on myself as to why I felt the way I felt. I couldn't put two and two together as a kid. I isolated myself a lot. I just didn't have a form of emotional regulation. So it caused me to, the wirings in my brain are definitely a lot different. But there's definitely like a lot of darkness when it comes to dealing with that kind of emotional trauma. And
give me one example, when your brain goes to that dark place and you start seeing, like, you start re-experiencing those memories or whatever. Is there one you're willing to talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I was 5, we got placed in, well, first of all, when my mother abandoned us, we were living in like a Section 8 housing. And the neighbors found out. So one of the neighbors was like, well, we haven't seen any adult come in or out of this, unit in like a week. So she actually called the police. Prior to that, I mean, we literally had no food. We were digging in trash cans to find food. So the police came. They took us down to the station and they placed us in our first foster home. So all 3 of my siblings were all together, and it was just ended up being this thing where they were defiant, and like I said, they had a lot of behavioral issues, obviously, right? Like, can't blame them.
Yeah, the way they grew up, of course.
We all got split up. I went to this one home, and it was a lady and her son. So it was 3 of us all in one apartment. And I remember I used to wet the bed a lot as a kid, like a lot.
Yeah.
A lot more than like the average kid probably did. And I remember one day I wet the bed and the lady just like beat the shit out of me. Like her and her son beat the shit out of me, and she locked me in a bathroom with the lights off. She took the light bulb out of the bathroom and didn't feed me for like I think it was about like 32 hours or so. And I was like drinking water out of the fucking toilet bowl in there. So that's something that definitely, when I go into that, that's one of the few.
You were 5?
It was about 4.5. Yeah, about four and a half.
Dude, that's literally the worst time something like that could happen to you. And that's almost damn near one of the worst things that can happen to you at that time. You literally, so you feel, I mean, as when you were a baby, you felt completely abandoned. Excuse me.
Yeah, man. It's trust me, I cry over it all the time, man.
One sec.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, man, it's just, I resonate so much with people mentioning how they just don't want to be here. But I just think about how like fucked up things were, and I'm not here to look for pity or anything. It's just it's pain. It's just a lot of pain with being a fucking human being.
Yeah. So foster kids are fucked up because they felt at the most important part of their life completely abandoned. Not only they didn't have a God helping them, they didn't even have a person helping them.
Yeah, exactly. And some of the things that I was placed in a total of 3 homes. So the last home that I got placed in, I actually ended up staying there for the rest of my adolescent and my teenage years, and even a little bit into my adulthood. So they sort of took me in, and I sort of always felt disconnected from this whole familial sort of connection, and it definitely heightened my senses to not trust anyone. And not only that, like, even though these people treated me fairly well, knowing that I was just a part of a business operation, that sort of made me really feel diminished. It didn't help with my emotions, knowing that I was just a product, and if there wasn't a monetary incentive, I wouldn't even be in this home. And, you know, also verbally hearing that to confirm it, definitely hurt. And, you know, you harbor up some resentment and you just try to make way of surviving, you know. So it's definitely a darkness to a lot of us. And if you know anything about even the homeless population, I think it's 75% to 80% of those people came from some sort of foster care background. So that's just to kind of give you an insight as to how fucked up things are when it comes to that.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard horrible stories. Like, actually, probably I don't know, 15 years ago, I got into just a little bit of research into like things that foster kids go through, and it just got so dark I didn't want to look at it no more. To be honest with you, it got so dark I just was like, okay, I just, you know, I can't really look at this shit, man. I don't even want to read these stories no more. You know, and actually, my neighbors told me some interesting stories. He was a PI, a private investigator, and he would like actually rescue a lot of kids from abused homes and stuff. And I mean, I just heard some really weird stories. And but that is like who had just said that.
You know something that I'm currently dealing with. I'll you know be lying if I said I'm this healed person. I'm just fucked up, man. My sister, who didn't fortunately, you know, if you look at us one to one, we're just completely different. She's a very aggressive, very aggressive. She has a very angry spirit, which makes sense. She unfortunately ended up on hardcore drugs, and she ended up in like these mental institutions. And I think for about maybe 8 to 9 years, I didn't hear anything from her, but in part because it's something I run from. I feel like when I talk to her, it just reminds me of how fucked up things were for us.
Yeah.
But recently, I think this was last year, I actually went to go visit her in this mental facility. They gave me like 30 minutes to you know, visit her, which was so fucked up. And they're timed it to the T. As soon as the 30 minutes was up, they're like, you gotta go. I just was looking at her and I was like, man, this is just a little girl who didn't get any loving. This is just a little girl, man. You know, we kind of, we're adults, right? Because we're forced, but at the core of it, it's like that child in you that never healed, that sort of love and that emotional care. And that just shows you how fucked up things can be for some people, right? From the jump, like, you know, imagine you're just born into that. Like it's that dark. It gets that dark. And I think for me, I sort of cut off the communication again, just because it's just too dark for me to deal with it. And I already deal with my own sort of emotions day to day. And I just feel really fucked up that we don't have that relationship, you know, and I don't know how to necessarily solve that. It's hard to see her like that.
Yeah, you can't. Well, you can't solve it. If it would get solved, it would have to be she solved it, and you're asking her to do a lot. When you're traumatized, it's very difficult to behave normally, to not fall into, you know, the category of drug addict or, you know, drug abuser. It's very difficult. People don't know what it's like to have negative thoughts replaying in your mind 24 hours a day to react things. Actually, when I was a kid in school, people would know me as being jumpy and somebody that was always in their own head. I was a sort of aloof kind of kid. I was always imaginative, and if somebody touched me, I would freak the fuck out. And I mean, once I seen who touched me, I was okay, but I never realized, you know, when you're the one living with the trauma, you don't realize you have the trauma. You're just being you. You know what I'm saying? But the truth is I was an abused little kid, and when people touched me, I would freak out. And the reason that I was always aloof or in my own thoughts is because escaping the fear of being in an abusive household, that's the only way I could do it, was to be in my own head. So we think we're just being us, but the truth is we're being what this place made us. And when somebody does to little babies, to what happened to you and your sisters or your siblings, It's very, very difficult to come back from that. It's super fucking difficult to come back from that. The programming is what's fucked up. You know, it's like it's from 0 to 7. That's where the programming happens. And if it happened in that age category, it's the programming that's fucked up. For her, it would be like you asking her to be somebody she's not, for her to change, I guess is what I'm saying.
It just, man, it really broke me down. Like, it was one of the most difficult things I had to process in my life. Just sort of seeing her like that and resonating with the emotional trauma that's, it just doesn't go away. And my father, he passed away in like 2006. I think I only saw the guy like twice. And my mother, when all of that happened, we got displaced. There was a period of time where she was trying to get us back. And hindsight 2020, it was a good thing that she didn't, because we would have just truly been really fucked up, because this wasn't someone who had mental stability at all. Like, and crazy enough, in 2014, I was diagnosed with bacterial meningitis. So I literally almost passed away. And I remember I hadn't talked to my mom in probably 18 years at that point. And the family that sort of adopted me in had contacted her saying, hey, we should let you know your son that, he's really sick and he might not be here anymore, so you should come down here. And I remember after, because I was in a coma for like 3 weeks or so. And after I woke up and, sort of got rehabilitated, I remember her showing up and she was just drunk. Like, Jesus Christ, like I haven't seen this woman in 17 years, but she shows up to come see me and she's intoxicated. And I just couldn't believe that someone would impose this shit on me, but let alone not even have the ability to take care of me, And it's just, it gets really dark when I was starting to, think in that way. But I think last year, this was last year. Last year, I got like a random fucking text message from someone saying happy birthday, and it turns out it was my mom. I think I hadn't spoke to her from that point on. It was probably like it's a decade, because I was like 22, 23 at that point. So I hadn't heard from this woman in like 10 years. She reached out to me, and I was just like, man, like this place fucking sucks, like the imposition of it all. And then imagine just having parents who actually don't even.
What happened to your mom?
My mother, like a lot of
growing up, what happened to her? Was she abused?
Or her parents she was abused. She was abused. She had a lot of emotional trauma from her mother, physically, verbally abused. I ended up finding that out because I posed some questions to my mom, which was very hard. And I learned, like, wow, she was just a girl who was abused and fucked up. So, the cycle perpetuates itself. And
yep, she's still that little baby girl, that innocent little baby girl. She's just dealt with it herself too. She went through a life of hell, and what you're actually looking at is a battered old victim to reality.
Yeah.
And she's probably doped to the gills or drunk, whatever, to deal with, to cope with her reality, because she's another victim too. And it's true. Victims create victims.
Exactly. Yeah. And, I don't say any of these things. There's no resentment for, her. I'm not angry at her anymore. I think I've worked through that in the healthiest way possible. But it's also, I still run from the idea of having any association with these people, just because and unfortunately, I think my sister kind of goes in that category too. It's just hard to viscerally look at those things, and it just hurts. Like, I just break down just thinking of it,
Oh yeah, me too, dude. Our family, I mean, it just depends. I've seen families that treat each other like shit, but I also have a very, very close sibling that struggles. You know, he also went through abuse, and I see the way he struggles in life. So, and yeah, it's tough watching the people you care about being victims to this realm, this shithole.
Yeah, and you know, in the environment, you know, when I was in the home that I stayed in for quite some time, it was very much a revolving door, and we were, if I'm being brutally honest, and I think a lot of people tend to not want to hear this part. You are a product. You are a product. You know, the system pays these people a certain amount of money per child, and
Yeah.
depending on what sort of classification that they have, you get even more incentive. Like there's different rates. So if a child has like extreme behavioral or some form of mental illness, it's like an additional like $1,500, $1,000. And seeing kids come in like a revolving door and leave like it was some fucked up warehouse job, that actually kind of sickened me too, because I did have a price tag on me. And if it wasn't for that monetary incentive, these people wouldn't have loved me. So it, you know, and I'm saying that now as an adult, there's a different relationship with these people. And I think the love was kind of curated and grown, but the initial sort of kind of me being there or these kids being there was completely contingent on
The
we're
paycheck.
making X amount of money per month. And yeah, it's okay if you stay here, you know, we're getting paid. And it was just, I like just sincerely, you know, from someone who observed this for years, it's a fucked up situation. It's like cattle. It's like a property. You're literally property of the fucking state.
Yeah, that's got to be an interesting trip on a kid's mind too. Jesus Christ, this yeah, I'm saying just unbelievable, man, unbelievable. Oh, Cosmo, I'm going to wrap this conversation up because I have to go over a few other things on the stream, and I wanted to have another conversation with somebody else. But before we wrap it up, I want to ask everybody I talk to this question because, well, I'm a little bit of a weirdo, and I'm okay with that. But have you had any experience in your reality that's sort of unexplainable or an odd phenomenon that you just can't explain? You wouldn't even want to explain because most people would think you were crazy explaining it.
Yeah, definitely. I have a lot of kind of sort of occurrences that I find strange, but I think the main one for me is just kind of based on my experiences. When we talk about like reality being a script or a simulation, and if anyone's in the chat has like dealt with DPDR, I think it typically a lot of people get it from some sort of drug. I think even marijuana can cause episodes of that.
Yeah, third person perspective.
Yeah, the sensation of it really does make this feel like it's not real. And I kind of go back to like, if the brain or whatever the brain is attached to, if it's attached to some sort of stream of consciousness, I think it plays on that. So I do think there's certain fabrics that just aren't real, and maybe I'm creating these realities. That sort of experience sort of touches on that. And I've tried to explain that to some people in the past. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? But you wouldn't really understand unless you like live with like DPDR. But I just, yeah, I think it's a bit strange how the brain can sort of zoom out and look at things in kind of a third person perspective.
Mm-hmm. When you were in that depersonalization mode where you're like viewing yourself outside of your body, did you have a body?
Yeah. I had a body, but my attachment to the body was absent. So it was almost me looking at just a flesh vehicle, but not identifying with it. Okay. If that makes sense.
So the thing that you were when you were looking at your body laying there, did that thing have a body?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It did.
Yeah, it's very strange. Very, very strange. Huh. It almost feels like a parasite took control of you, and you're viewing the parasite taking control of you, but you're not identifying with that. So it's definitely like some third eye kind of multi-dimensional shit.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I've actually I've experienced where, but I think that I was just starting to astral project where I could kind of see myself sitting on the bed or whatever. Um,
Mhm.
but I didn't have control of where I was facing or something. I remember it was like I could just see it happening for a second, then it like my I guess vision turned like this or to the right or whatever, like clockwise,
Mhm.
and then I came out of it. But I do remember experiencing that
Yeah.
for just a moment. But I couldn't remember. Did I have a body when that was happening? I felt like I had a head and eyes because I remember like the shit was looking around or whatever, and I was just like, well,
Mhm.
because if I was
You actually
control,
just
I would have
reminded
looked at
me.
that.
That's kind of crazy. Now that you're saying that, it kind of reminded me of I like to experiment with like fasting and prolonged fasting, like 48, 72. I recently did a 7-day fast to straight water. And the thing that you kind of experience when you're fasting is you get a lot of these like moments of clarity,
Mhm.
brain wise, where a lot of things just seem so entwined. But of course, you get the dips in energy, right? Because you're not consuming anything.
Mhm.
I'm saying all that to say this: when you go prolonged periods of time of like doing something physiological, one of them being like not sleeping. Like I remember I experienced probably 4 or 5 years ago. I didn't sleep for quite a bit. I was dealing with some insomnia at the time, and I think I was about 2 or 3 days in of just like zero sleep.
Ugh,
And
I've
I
been there, dude.
remember, well, what I experienced was I started to see glitches and stuff in like architecture and like buildings and stuff, and it made me think like, is the thing right? Sleep is a non-negotiable. You have to sleep in order for your body to function. I think sleep is also the thing that attaches you to here. It made me kind of think of that. Like, is sleep just keeping me cool here? Because now that I'm depriving myself of this thing, I'm actually starting to see like what the fabric of reality was, and it was a lot of like lines and sort of like glitches, and
Oh,
obviously
dude,
from a.
that's the fucking
Mhm.
secret message on that movie, A Dark City. When you sleep, it all gets rearranged for you. I never thought
Yeah.
about that. Is sleep us returning back to sleep? You're right, because if we don't return back to sleep and keep doing this life thing, we start hallucinating and this life thing starts to like dematerialize. So maybe it's
Yeah.
sleep. Oh, and then
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger, dude, when you go to sleep, there's somebody in your nightmares that's evil. Oh my
Yeah.
God, dude, it makes
Um,
sense.
it
Sleep
makes
is the
sense.
reprogram.
Yeah, sleep. I highly believe that sleep is like, it's like you said, like the reprogramming, and also eating. Just go a few days without eating. You're going to start to see. You're going to get more clarity in how you think, and that's interesting because food should be giving you energy. But I also feel like it it turns off certain things for you also, right?
Oh, dude, it
It kind of
definitely
gets you.
slows down the mind, especially if you eat processed food, bro. It slows you down. It actually gives you brain fog. It's so fucked
It
up.
gives you brain fog. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was like I think I was 64 or 72 hours in. I mean, I could kid you not, like the amount of clarity and the amount of things that came to me, sort of like a stream where I didn't even have to put in effort, and I was able to recall things, and my processes were really turning on.
Hmm.
I was like, holy shit, this thing that we're tethered to, you have to eat. Like, just in order to keep the vessel going, it's almost limiting us at the same time in a weird way. And I think sleep also recalibrates you to what this is. Like everything gets rearranged again. And once you deprive yourself of that, you can actually see what reality is, which is it's false reality. That's kind of my
All right.
conclusion. I
So,
don't think things are happening how we think they are. So the more you sort of take away from what the physical shell needs, the more you see reality for what it actually is, which is it's nothing.
I agree with you
It's
completely.
all.
I've experienced what you're talking about, that super clarity, all that. I did almost like a 10-day fast. So I would say, so Cosme, let me ask you this a weird question. So let's say we stop eating, we get some of our brain power back. We stop ejaculating, we get some of our energy back. We stop doing all the things that the avatar is programmed to want to do in the realm. So we sort of detach from the realm by our actions. And then what happens to us? And then the question would be is, well, what happens or why are we in this what other word could I use but trap, where I have to completely detach from everything of it to find me again. Isn't that weird? Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
It's very strange. And if you actually kind of think of this thing, I think his name, I'm not going to take credit for this, his name is Solace. He said, if you actually look at humanity, you know how we think of like zombies and vampires, how they're like the dead. Actually, the human vessel is the walking dead. Because if for you to be in a complete state of just neutrality, of non-need, would equal death, right? You would die. Like you have to constantly do things to sustain life. So if that's the case, is life actually death and death is life? Like just really start to think about that and reprogram your sort of brain.
The death of things gives life. Yeah, that's really weird. I mean, when you think about it like that, it's weird.
In order for us to sustain ourselves, we have to take energy from somewhere else. And even if you're vegan, plants and fruits do have a vibrational pool and frequency. That those things are living, at least to a degree. They're not obviously conscious like we are, but there is energy from those things. So in order for you to sustain life, you have to take life from something else. Meaning, if that's the case, then we're dead. We're already dead. This is death. Mm-hmm. This is the zero sum here. And that means the other side would be considered life. And if you watch Bobby Hemmett, he talks about this a lot. That's why he says you need to devalue life. There is nothing here. You need to become very comfortable with that. Like that, we should be one-to-one with that, because that's when you start to live. Is when you deprecate this physical shell. I wholeheartedly do believe that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that's the best thing to do. Obviously, like everything else that we need to do in this bizarre existence, much more easier preached than practiced. But yeah, absolutely, mm-hmm. I would agree with that. All right, Cosby, I'm going to wrap this one up. Dude, thanks for talking to me. We're going to end up talking again. I'm going to end up talking to a few different people probably today, and then I also wanted to go over an email that was sent to me by a friend of mine. And thank you for coming on. I appreciate you.
Man, I appreciate the opportunity to chat with you. I've been following you for like a year or so this is awesome. I really appreciate you guys.
All right, brother. Thank you for coming. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir. Talk to you soon.
All right, peace, brother. All right, guys. I'm actually going to read the email, as I told Matt I would read that email on here. Where is it? He had sent me an email. I'm still sharing Discord. Where's my Discord window? Is it a tab? No. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm just thinking out loud. Give me 1 second here. Yeah. Oh, I got even more emails from my biggest fan over there, little creepy boy. All right. Where the fuck is that's weird. Where's his email? I just read his email earlier, and I don't see it in my emails. That's interesting. Okay. Did he email me that? Or I'm sorry, maybe that might have been on Discord, actually. Or maybe he emailed, or I'm sorry, maybe he sent me that message on Discord. Where the fuck is my Discord? I know it's running. I can see I'm fucking running the damn thing on my stream. Is it? All right, I gotta stop sharing screen here. All right, I'm sorry, guys. Just give me 1 sec. Where the fuck is Discord at? Did I minimize it? No, I have that one. Okay, there it is. How was that window hidden? Where the fuck was it? It was literally just hidden on my desktop. What the fuck was that? All right, anyways. Let me check this real quick. Oh, what up, Infinite? I got a... Excuse me, jeez. I got your friend request. Here, okay. I'm sorry, guys. Give me one. I'm sorry for the fucking confusion there. But, okay. Is this? What is this? I'm sorry, guys. Maybe I'm wrong about this too. I don't know if this is the message he sent me. I'm going to read this. Matt, I don't know if this is what you meant for me to read, but I'm going to read it. So he wrote, I've always been interested in the life reviews of persons who have had near-death experiences. From what I gather, the things we do that may be most significant in our lives are often little gestures of kindness or love we show to someone. Things we do that seem prosaic or incidental to the main narrative of our life may be the most important acts we ever chose to perform. J.R.R. Tolkien once wrote a short story called Smith of Wootton Major. Superficially, it seems a story about Cake's village life and a special ability bestowed upon a child that allows him to travel into the world of fairy. It seems like a setting for a meditation upon the contrast between the mundane world and the world of the fantastic and awesome marvels. Within this story, the king of the fairy has taken on the life as a mortal, and he has lived for decades as a very low status working class sort of person, a baker's assistant, in service to a terrible boss. At one point, he reveals his true identity to the main character, Smith, and asks Smith to return to his magic, or to return him the magic that allowed Smith to journey into the fantastic realms of fairy. Smith unhesitatingly does so, and then observes that it seems unfathomable to him that someone such as the king of fairy should submit to live a low-level status life in an obscure village for so many years. The king replies to the effect that the decades of life in disguise were worthwhile because he has been repaid for his suffering, in quotes, by Smith's simple, unselfish act of giving back the key that opens the way into fairy. That has always struck me as a very good insight into our lives. The great acts of our life may be simple acts of unhesitating unselfishness, generosity, or self-sacrifice. Helping a neighbor shovel snow may be as significant as being the president of the United States and gaining some sort of treaty that brings great benefit to the world. I'm saying, I guess, that utilitarianism only goes so far. The greatest good to the greatest number works well enough up to a point. But it seems to me sometimes that there may be ways in which the small acts between individuals are not any less important than the great acts of group leaders. They're absolutely more important, especially when the leaders' acts are all deceptive lies behind your back. They're actually stealing from you and robbing you and lying to you. But yes, helping your neighbor do something they need help with as an elderly person is way more of a righteous act than anything any politician's ever done. As Wittgenstein said in Tractatus Logico Philosophicus, no cry of torment. Y'all motherfuckers are really stretching my motherfucking vocabulary on this bitch, bro. I am not this dude to be reading all this weird shit. The Logico Philosophicus. I'm sorry, bro. Or again, no torment can be greater than what a single being may suffer. The whole planet can suffer no greater torment than a single soul, suggesting that torment is not multiplied to a greater. I'm sorry, give me one sec, guys. What? So, no cry of torment can be greater than the cry of one man. Or again, no torment can be greater than that, or than what a single being may suffer. The whole planet can suffer no greater torment than a single soul. Oh, that's true. I never really thought about it that way, but suggesting that torment is not multiplied to a greater intensity simply because many bear it rather than few, and implying likewise that benefit and joy is not multiplied into greater intensity if we do something that benefits many rather than few. I'm a professor who teaches macro practice and social philosophy, policy to social workers, social work students. So I naturally point out that political action may do a great benefit to many more people than therapy. For example, our class has played a small, well, how do you sway politics though? Our class has played a small part in helping to pass legislation that will help social work students in the state with scholarships to assist them in completing their studies when they are doing field placements. That legislation, when it's finally enacted and funded, will help hundreds of students each year, and the increase in supply of social workers will lead to more people receiving mental health care or good quality social work services. So there are ripples of benefit that go out to people all over the state. But at some deep level, I'm pretty sure that helping one person climb out of a situation of misery and hopelessness and confusion to a place where they can feel good and get their life back under control may be no less important than helping pass legislation that benefits thousands or millions of people. Yeah, the main thing I would pull out of that is help people, still be kind, still be good. A lot of the people in this community, I think, allow this community the truth to consume them and make them miserable, dark, low, nasty people. And I think that is the realm winning. I don't know why I don't want the realm to win. I want to say fuck this realm and shit on this realm's chest. All right, I know I'm behind on the shit. Thanks for listening, guys. Sorry, should be shared. Thanks, guys. Meet your actual realms in the same place. Bro, I never went to the gym yesterday, bro. Honestly, I just got hit by a fucking goddamn wave of tiredness, bro. I got out the stream, man. I ate and I was just like so out of gas, dude. I was exhausted. Well, I slept. I ended up taking a nap. I woke back up. I was up for a few hours and ended up going back to sleep again and slept until fucking I can't remember. It was like fucking what time did I wake up? It was like 10 a.m. I didn't wake up until like 10 or 10:30 in the morning. Fucking slept in hell. I'm just like exhausted, bro. I don't know. Yeah, and energy vampires probably. They suck my energy, Paul, and then they can suck my dick too. On the side, go not to elves for counsel, for they will say both no and yes. That was funny. I don't know why that was funny to me. Remember there's someone who got his life ruined in surgery and his skull is hanging down 90 degrees over his skull while he gets no help. He continues to worsen. His palate is getting narrower every week. Energy vampirism. Dude, I'm at 25 people, bro. I'm at 25 right now. I wouldn't even look at the people. I see 24. I look up, I see 24. Oh, someone left just to make it 24 again. You 25, you son of a bitch. Anyway, it's okay. Not bad, bro. Wait till I start talking to other true channels. Watch how quick my shit blows up, bro. Watch how quick my shit will blow up if I start talking to other true channels, which I'm going to. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? Oh, no. If your channel gets bigger, it means you're a shill or Illuminati. It's like, okay, bro, I've been a fucking, a non-shill for fucking 10 years now. Whatever the fuck it's been. You lost 30 subscribers since doing live stream so far. Yeah. Did I? You were at 1.4 at one time. Paul, I was almost at 2K at one time. I lost like 800 all in like one night. Yeah, fuck them. I mean, it's what it is. If they're not interested in what's happening here, no, it's not even fuck them. Like, it is what it is. If they're not interested, then that's fine. I don't, what am I, like running a cult here? Like, you must stay subscribed to me and I only like people that like me. And if they're unsatisfied, move on. That's what normal people do. Actually, it's the abnormal people are the ones that stick around and keep watching you after they hate you. Those are the weird ones. Dirty cornballs. I think they just hear the angry rants and calling people retarded. I thought, maybe. I don't know what they were into. And it doesn't matter. This is what I'm doing now. So if they're into it, cool. I'll see you at the stream. If not, I didn't see you anyways. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. That's like programming. That's like, oh, I've got to maintain this. I've got to keep subscribers. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Well, I mean, okay. What's the point of what I'm doing here? I'm trying to wake up conscious. So you could say, I want 8 billion people to hear my message. But I'm saying, when it comes to like being attached to it all and all, I don't give a fuck, man. A lot of us got way too used to angry rants. Proud of you, Chris. Thank you, T. I appreciate you, brother. I'm sort of proud of me too. I'm struggling, but I'm doing the damn thing. A lot of us got way too used to angry rants. I have angry rants. Go listen to the motherfuckers. What you need to know. I'll still have one. I'm sure I'll have one every once in a while. But the truth is, I've sort of grown past this place, bro. I'm not as emotionally invested into it. I think it's a joke. It's a clown show. Everyone, it doesn't. I know a lot. That's going to happen a lot less. For me to get that anger, I'd have to care, and I just don't care about this reality anymore. I've had just about enough. I'm like, yeah, I'm cool on this trip, bro. It's like finding yourself on a drug you don't like. Are you gonna come around and do it again? No, I'm good, bro. No, that one ain't for me. Oh, but I love that. Okay, well, I'm glad you love it. That one ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. But yeah, fuck this reality. But 8 billion sleepwalkers, they don't even know they're in a dream. Yeah, but I'm kind of banking on it, Shallon, that I don't know why. I'm hoping there's like some 100th monkey effect, dude. Like, I really like hope, like if we wake up enough though, and why is that in me? What is this I need to wake people up thing? Why is that even happening? Why am I in a realm where people need to be woken up? Why can't they just be awake? And that's just the realm we're in. No, they have to wake up to the real reality because the realm they're in is some sort of deception or lie. Like, what the fuck's happening there? I mean, just let the people talk. Hello, conductor. Welcome to the stream. Howdy, please. Oh, you want me to talk to Howdy Mikowski? I don't know if he would talk to me, bro. I don't know. I think he's a little too serious. Maybe he would. Maybe okay. But he'd have to be cool with my type of format to help you. You probably got this imaginary fantasy that people are going to hell, at least for me, and subconsciously will want your main mission to help people wake up. No, I don't want people to know they're going to hell. Paul, I want people to know they're already in hell. Going to hell is a cartoon. That's not anything I've ever experienced. Going to hell is the same importance to me as going to heaven or going to La Land or going to the pearly gates, but whatever. Seeing the river of stream of thoughts and all that. Anyway, that's all cartoon to me. I'm talking about this reality. I want to wake people up to the reality they're already in, which is very bizarre. That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point. Why am I trying to wake people up in the reality they're already in? This world is hell, yes. Howdy seems overly confident and full of himself. I don't know. I get that sense too. I'm just being honest. He either seems overly confident or just a very serious type of individual. I'm not super serious about everything, and people that behave that way make me uncomfortable. I'm sort of a joker. Like, I like to joke around and be goofy, but people that are just like dead serious all the time, it's like, bro, I don't know. I don't mix good with that chemistry. But I mean, again, I'd love to talk to anybody that's willing to talk about interesting shit. And who the hell is Howdy? Chris, the seeking will know those who sleep, let them sleep. Dude, he reminds me of somebody, actually. Howdy Mikowski reminds me of somebody, some actor or something that was in movies or some shit. Where did I remember when I first seen Howdy Mikowski, I was like, who is this motherfucker? How do I know him? Was he an actor in movies? Wasn't he in that movie, The Abyss or something? I don't know, man. Howdy was an actor. Was he? Oh, a comedian. Captain Dookie Boy wants you to take this reality seriously. Just don't. Who's Captain Dookie Boy, Shallon? Are you talking about me? And comedian? I want people to take this reality seriously? Or who's Captain Dookie Boy? And comedian? 30 people. Night series? What? Oh, Night Stalker series. Exit the Cave. I actually have that book, bro. I've never read a book in my life, and I thought, okay, this has got to be interesting to me. I'll be able to read it. No, I read about 2 pages. I was like, man, fuck this book. I'll go watch YouTube. I'll go watch the motherfucker talk. I don't want to read. This person tends to be the super serious type, no foolishness business, but without that overly confident and arrogant shit in calm, smooth ways. Then that is my kind of guy. I'll take the book. You want the book, T? I'll send it to you. Send me your address, bro. I'll send that motherfucker to you. I ain't gonna use it. I'll sign it, bro. I'll sign that book. I'll even take a fucking old Polaroid picture of me mooning the fucking camera like we used to do back in the 80s, which is probably really the gayest thing you could do. It show another man your ass, but I'll put that picture in there and sign it. Not you, the creator of this Dookie Boy Rome, aka Demiurge. Oh, the guy, the Demiurge, Captain D. Oh, you're calling him? No, dude. Man, that's fucked up. But I like calling this reality the Dookie Boy Realm. So if anybody's gonna be Captain Dookie Boy, it's gonna be me. But then I don't like being called Captain Dookie Boy. So, or yeah, I guess we can give it. Fuck it. Yeah, he is the Captain Dookie Boy. The Demiurge can be the Captain Dookie Boy. Fuck him. Because it's a Dookie Boy realm, it's his realm. So he is Captain Dookie. You're right, Shallon. Paul can post that photo up when he's on his piano thing, when he's playing the piano deck. He'll play so good. He knows. Dude, Paul knows. T, you know what I'll do? I'll get that like jiggly type material they use for like mouse pads and shit, and I'll glue those shapes to the butt cheeks. So when he's playing, my butt cheeks are literally like jiggling, bro. He would love that, bro. Moonlight Sonata, bitch. Got him. We're just joking, Paul. Don't worry about it. We know you don't want to see Captain Dookie Boy's butt cheeks. I'm already fucking it up. I'm not Captain Dookie Boy. The Demiurge is Captain Dookie Boy. Labeled by Shallon. Moonlight's not a bitch. Yeah, he's just kidding. At least y'all are having fun. I don't mind. Paul, I think you are autistic, to be honest with you. I think you may be, to be honest with you. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I actually think autistic people have special abilities and shit. I think they can hear voices and stuff, or not hear voices, but communicate telepathically. I like to call this reality many things: the infernal realm, the inconceivable circus, the pantomime insanity, the cosmos of cataclysmic sadistic malignance, the forsaken necropolis, etc. Tism. Someone told me they exposed you. I'm on spectrum for sure. Yeah, I don't. Well, no, to you seem pretty. I mean, you seem normal. I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't know. I'm into psychology. I pay attention to people, the mannerisms, behaviors, and you seem like you've been through hell, but you seem like a normal guy that's been through hell. Can you guess who? I don't care to guess or think about it. I think everyone's a little autistic. I'll just say, let Big Trouble. How about this? Let the creeps talk, and they'll just bring me more traffic because I'm better at talking than them. I'm better at contemplating than them. I'm better at truth than them. I'm more handsome than them. And I mean, sure, if they hate sweat spots, they might not. I'll wear black shirts. Can you guys still see it? Nope, no sweat spots. So, I'd say let that creepy motherfucker say, oh, he's over there cracking his knuckles and he's a demon, and he'll just bring me traffic. One of my best mates is autistic. Dude is straight up genius with technology and music. Bro, autistic motherfuckers are badass at some shit. They're badass at some shit, dude. Daniel Demet counted fucking pi out for like 10 hours or something, dude. That's insane to even try to comprehend. His mind is capable of doing something that's impossible to comprehend. I couldn't say pi for fucking 100 digits. This dude said it for fucking like 10 hours. Crazy, dude. Crazy. Unbelievable. It's just it's unbelievable. So literally unbelievable. It's like, whoa, how the fuck did you do that? My burger's a damn genius, bro. What's going on in this dude's little weird head, bro? Who else am I about to talk? I'm about to talk to somebody. Oh, Is it supposed to show? Oh, wait. That's who's sending me. I'm sorry. I got to check these. Okay, I don't get how this shit's working, bro. When I'm on Discord, I see blue, 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 blue. Shengel sent you this. Shengel sent you that. And then when I go to me and Shengel's conversation, there's nothing going on there. There's like nothing in the conversation. I can't scroll down. I don't know what's happening. I think I'm autistic, but just in all this shit derpy ways. Oh, that sucks, no name. It's all good. You're still pretty cool from my perspective. Hello, friends. What up, bro? What up, bro? You came in the hood, got shook. Does anybody know anything about Discord messages? I think I can present myself in different ways, but I just don't want to. Yeah, just be the logical information person you are. If I'm completely honest, I appear autistic. Yeah, you do. That's what I'm telling you. You appear that way. Absolutely. That's what I'm telling you. And again, not in a derogatory or nasty way. It is what it is. That's the way you are. I don't give a fuck. I'd rather a conscious autistic person watch my channel than an unconscious fucking NPC. Books, ¿cómo está, amigo? Oh, man, my dude, no names, no, man. ¿Cómo te llamas? That's all I know, bro. And es más tres hermanos. Damn, shit. I can't even count, bro. I took that shit in college, too, for one semester. Spanish, bro. Fuck all that. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve. I don't fucking know. Actually, no. In you, hyper-focus, interest, and set want. Piano? Soy. Oh, dude, T, fuck getting me a guitar. You want to win me something? Win me a piano and send it to fucking Paul. Soy beat boop E2. Bro, no name's over here again. What's going on? Soy no name E2. Cusera Sarah Amigo. Oh my god. No. And now Ray's is laughing. What the fuck are y'all talking about? Y'all are talking in weird AI language and different languages. He wants spec piano. Well, there's a lot. Okay, I want Mae West to sit on my face. Do I get what I want? You're a better beatboxer than most people, too. Who, me? Thank you, Curious G. I appreciate that. Soy R2D2. I think I'm just good at making weird sounds. And then I just make a beat out of them. Okay, then. What's okay, Vazen? What are you talking about? Randomly, you'll go, okay, then, and I have no idea what you mean by that. What? Okay, then, to what? Did you say something? I don't see a comment. Do I have live chat? Oh, I do have live chat. Haven't you heard pi played on a piano? No. What does that mean? Pi? Oh, pi, the mathematical? No, I've never heard the mathematical equation played on a piano. I didn't even know that was a thing. Pi on piano? What the? It appears I have watched this before because I was 29 seconds into the video. It's music. What is this? How's that end up being music like that? Huh? What's this saying? My post has a bunch of likes and hearts. Okay, thank you. I guess one of my posts got a bunch of hearts and likes. It was really amazing. Bro, it's a fucking song. How did that happen? I don't believe it. You fucking lied to me, you son of a bitch. Go check out solfeggio frequencies. Oh, I know about them. I know about rife frequencies, all that shit. Oh, okay then. That is just a random way of saying, well, Are we just talking about random stuff as usual? Alrighty then. What then? Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about right now. Right now I'm like trying to figure out these programs. I'm trying to figure out how I don't have any messages from Shengel, but during that conversation where I was talking to goddamn, I already forgot the motherfucker's name, KosmiX, he sent me a bunch of messages, but now they're not here. So I was trying to figure out how to see his messages, or I don't know how to see it, dude. Anyways. Yes, sir. I know about all that little frequency shit and them fucking salt plates and all that, and the fucking Komodo experiments and the frequency of sound or vibrational frequency of even printed words has on the effect of water and how it freezes and all this fucking weird shit. Have you tried turning it on and off again? Oh, no, I didn't do that, actually. Let me try that. Quit Discord. Yes. Let me open it again. Where is that motherfucker? There it is. Oh, here. But then I go into his conversation and it's empty. I'm just going to say, what's up, Shingo? What up, Shingo? I seen you sent me some messages while I was talking, but now I don't see anything in here. All right, how do I go back to those direct messages window? Bro. Fuck, man. How do I get back to there where I was just at? Because I seen I had other ones too. Fuck you, program. Please show me. There it is, friends. Okay. Oh, okay. T was just saying, okay, I'll be there. What the fuck was my brother sending to me? But then when I click direct messages again, it doesn't go to the window. It works when it wants to. It's like, this shit is fucking annoying. Direct messages, motherfucker. Oh, friends is what I got to click. All right, Ray's. Ray's out there killing it, bro. Ray's, you're one of them motherfucking, dude, he's one of them gods at League of Legends, bro. He's one of them dudes. At war. Bro, this is why I don't like using the voice thing. Did you guys hear what I said to Shingo? I said, I can't remember what I said now. I think I said, Shingo, I seen you sent me some messages while I was talking, but now I don't see anything in here. What it heard me say was, what I've seen, guys, seen you sent me some messages while I was talking, but now I don't see anything in here. It's like, ugh, bro. Anyways, does anybody else? Well, should I go get something? I'd probably go get something to eat. No, I'm good. Does anybody else want to have a conversation? I'll just add more acidic coffee into my already at too high acidity stomach. It's okay. Once you go deep enough down a rabbit hole, nothing shocks you, mate. Especially if you go down the brutal truth, honesty rabbit hole. Once you go down that one, nothing will shock you. Chris, what do you think? What stuff could you still shock you, like hearing for the first time, like a new rabbit hole? I mean, I don't know. Probably nothing. I'm a shy motherfucker. Man, chill with that shit, bro. You're a god, Brooke, and you think you're shy? You're silly. What's the convo? Nothing. Right now? No, nothing. It's just because like what's the name? I just talked to him up for KosmiX. Just popped in like, hey bro, you want to do a fucking call? I'm like, let's do it then. Right now I'm just doing them. I'm getting more used to them. Again, I only want to do I'll do group calls, here and there, but I truly don't enjoy those as much as the one-on-ones, if I'm being honest. It's just there's too much going on. We just discussing if Chris is a lizard. What the fuck did you say to me, no name? What the fuck did you say to me, you little fucking no name motherfucker? You're fucking making me mad, no name. Don't fucking push me. Oh, God. Dude, he made me mad. That's on me. I almost transformed just now. If he keeps going with it, man. Oh, shit, it's happening. You pushed me beyond my threshold. No. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just not even in the mood to be a fucking lizard. Who fucking dared to challenge me in my true form? Oh! You wonder if Chris is being genuine at times. Okay, acting again. Paul, I'm not autistic, so yes, I have this thing called humor where I act sometimes. It's to make people laugh and stuff. They, because they are also not autistic, have this ability to tell when I'm acting and know when it's funny time. Paul, you actually are autistic, I think, dude. I think you actually are. But again, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I will act sometimes, Paul. And I'll even be sarcastic sometimes. Scatter, guys, everyone for themselves. The lizards. I don't know. How else do you sound like a lizard? Somebody tell me the sound a lizard makes. And I don't mean a lizard man that was in a movie because it's going to sound like that. Like, but an actual lizard. They don't make noises as far as I know. But when I transform, I got to, do it how I seen it in the movies. You think this is an act, Paul? This is his. Oh, dude, don't. Because, I wonder sometimes, is me talking shit back to that creepy dude with the mental disorder, like actually enabling his craziness? I think, am I like, because I'm kind of giving him shit back the last couple emails, saying like, shut up, you little fucking fuck boy. Everyone's laughing at you, you stupid little boy. Like I'm saying, I'm being kind of mean to him. I'm thinking, man, if he really is a mental disordered guy, though, that's probably a bad idea. I should probably just leave the weirdo alone. I wasn't being mean when I said, wait, I wasn't being mean when I said leave Paul alone. What's up? Who's being mean? I'm not sure how I revealed that. I like to share. I don't mind family people laughing at me because I intellectually let their inner demons out. What? It sounds like Yoshi in Nintendo. Does it? What did Yoshi sound like? No, can't sound like that. He was pretending not to be a lizard. Yeah. Yeah, Paul, when you see the mask in quotes, that's my true form, motherfucker. Right now is my act. The human form is my act. It's been years and he still does shit stuff. Yesterday when I said, I don't know what the hell y'all are talking about. Your reptiles to him are probably the highlight of his week, mate. Yeah, probably. I would appear differently with different people. I understand people can have inner passions and behaviors about people that may appear to be disrespectful, but at the same time, I don't blame them. Some people deserve it more than others. You should wear the mask as a skit more often. That got me laughing. I know, Curious G, that's kind of what I'm trying to do. You would think people would laugh about it. Some people get serious about it. Some people take it for real serious. Some people get offended by it. Some people are like, some people are interesting. But if you could be any form, what would it be? What do you mean? Does it have to be an animal or just any form? I would like to be able to dematerialize like Nightcrawler and reappear somewhere else. Just reappear. I'd put gravity to good use if I could do that. Especially if I could touch people and make them reappear somewhere else with me. You guys remember how Nightcrawler's dad fucked all those people up in the X-Men movie? Yeah. It's raining man. That's what would be happening. I'd be holding Bill Gates by his ankle like Arnold did that little weasel that was driving the Porsche 911 in Commando. I'd hold Bill Gates by his ankle just like that. I would hold him. I would appear where he is, grab him, and we would reappear above the Wuhan lab. And he'd be like, please, I've got money. No, I've got money. I'll give you anything you want. And I say, you'll give me anything I want? The only thing I want is to watch you die, though. And goodbye. Goodbye, old Bill. Yeah, Paul, the trick is to find people that are into the same thing that you're into and share your piano thoughts with them. If you just share your life story about piano thoughts with somebody randomly, yeah, they're probably not going to care, dude. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, man, he's not fooling us though, mate. We see through his human disguise. Yeah, I mean, you guys are really stirring up the crazies though. Wait, so Chris, what specifically caused you to think I have autism? Well, no, it wasn't. It was when you said it. Okay, what your behavior, your comments. I'll say that. Hey, Chris, what's up, everybody? How you doing? What up, Chaco? I want to gain insight to be in control of future social situations. All right, so just pay attention to the way. Okay, what does that mean? He sent a sticker wave. What does that mean? Does anybody know what a sticker wave is? I don't know if he's trying to talk to me or whatever. Someone threw an egg at Bill Gates. Oh yeah, someone put a pie in his face too. Oh no, so I can deactivate myself like on Star Trek with the hologram doctor. You'd be a hologram? I do. Curious. Yeah, I think we are now. It's weird that it feels so physical though. It's like they say all matter is really photons, but then it's like if we're all light projection, why does it feel so physical and real? What the fuck's that all about? Video of Bill Gates jumping over a chair. I've seen that video, yeah. What about it? He said he had autism. Oh, Bill Gates does? He might. Oh, he actually sort of, now I think about, well, anyways, but just call it what it is. All right. Yeah, I am getting kind of hungry though, man. What am I going to eat today? I don't fucking know. Just call it what it is. Sound shitty means I have views that I can share with no one. Paul, that means you have views that you can share with specific people. What do you mean? Did you hear what I said to you? I said, go find other people that are into piano stuff and talk to them about your theory. They'll be all wide-eyed and fascinated by it. But yes, if you can't just go up to some dude that's into like mechanics and building motors and cars and go, when you combine the key with the then expect this dude to be excited about it. He's gonna look at you with the cigarette hanging off his lip like, I don't give a fuck about your little story, bro. Can't find any. I'm sorry, Paul. What animal? Dude, maybe you should go to like a place where people play music all the time. I don't know where that's at. Maybe a church. I don't know. What animal am I gonna eat today? Pretty much, Brian. I'd be torpedo and just cannonball myself into the house on a quiet Sunday afternoon while he's having tea. Autism is connected with narcissism. Both don't care but about themselves, but there is some differences too. That's true. Yeah, the autistic people have a lot of narcissistic traits, or at least I'll say it appears that way. Paul is a tiny pianist. Berkeley. Don't starve yourself. What triggered the answer was when you asked, how good are you at piano? For real, so I wanted to market myself out there. Juilliard? No, Paul, do what you already told me you can't do what I told you, but no, the reason is I have a passion about speaking out about corruption. Okay. I sort of do too, a little bit. Well, I mean, it's kind of gone away at this point. I started giving up on that, but all by design, brother. Trust me, I know it. Nothing's coincidence. What up, Ryrie? Well, that was funny, but nobody hears about my story, so I was tempted more to say about it and see what happens. Yeah, Paul, it's fine. It's okay, dude. Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't want to say that. That would be private. Anyways, autism is connected to awesometism. So you're all good, Paul. Yeah, listen to No Name. Marketing is only right when relevant audience. Thanks, Brooks. I would say, let's be realistic, bro. Can we just be honest and realistic? Paul, your marketing sucks dick, bro. You're marketing to 22 people on a stream talking about consciousness. If you want to market your piano playing, you have to buy a better microphone. That's step one. You're playing like a fucking genius and you're recording it with a potato Motorola phone from 1987, and all I hear is scratches and breaks in the fucking audio. That's all I hear is. So here, you want to market yourself, buy a better microphone. Play your music to people that give a fuck about it. I know you're laughing at me for saying stuff, but at the same time, I want to tell you I'm aware. Okay, I'm glad you're aware, Paul. I can help, Paul. Thank you. T, if you can help him, I would appreciate it. I'm really laughing my ass off right now. We know you're aware, Paul. It's okay. Cool. Then you should have not asked me the question twice in chat. Okay, Paul. If I say how decent are you at piano, you say, oh, I'm about an 8 or a 9 out of 10. And that's where that question, I'm not asking you to describe your whole life to me about pianoism, brother. Sometimes people are just asking simple questions like, you can't put the blame on me. It's your fault that I decided to tell you everything about piano and you're not interested in it. God damn you, Chris. Like, no, I didn't ask you for all that. I asked you how good you were at it, brother. I'm decent, pretty good. Here's a video of me if you want to see it. That's about how good I am. All right. Yeah. If I was interested enough, I'll go watch the video and I'll ask whatever I want to ask. Good advice, Chris. Thank you, Curious G. Anyways, you should just become a dictator of a small country and force everyone to listen to your music every morning. Okay. No, Paul, get better equipment or get better musical friends. That's my advice. Go find people that are into piano stuff, and you will find people that are by nature interested in piano stuff. Here's that way. Get better equipment. Yeah, get a better microphone, bro. I can see you're playing great, but goddamn it, man, it sounds like dog shit. If you sent that video to me and I was some sort of musical producer, I'd be like, is this guy insane? Like, this is what he's going to send me. Like, did you dress up for the video? Is the quality good? Is it, like, I would be like, bro, don't even show me. What is this? What do you expect me to do with this scratchy ass? Let me get back to lizard people. God, frustrated. I'm sorry, Paul. Thanks for making me laugh. I didn't have a good laugh for months. You're welcome, bro. That is my mission, bro. That's what. Okay, everybody said, well, Chris, what do you do? I like to make people laugh, bro. It brings me happiness too. I don't know if it's the project. Maybe it's a mental thing happening. Maybe they project that happiness onto me, and then I feel that happiness. Maybe it is, but I love making people laugh. Go on a bunch of random popular YouTube videos and then self-promote in the comment sections, or do the same shit on a Reddit music subreddit. Do not actually do that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not trying to be down on Paul. I'm just being literally and brutally honest. You could say, well, Chris, you could up the quality of your channel by doing this or that. You could get a better background. You could paint the wall. You could have neon lights. You could have effects and blah, blah, blah. And I agree with all that. I just, I don't have the time to do all that shit. I'm one man, and I'm still kind of like learning how to even make that shit. But the same arguments could be made against me. And I would agree with them. I'm not just going to sit here and like mope about it. Like, like, no, that's true. That's true. I could do better. You need better audio equipment, dude. That's step number one. Get a microphone. I told you to give me your fucking address, didn't I? I said, send me your address. I'll send you my fucking Yeti microphone. I'll buy a new microphone. I don't give a fuck. I'll give you a microphone, dude. But anyways, that's step number one. If you're a guy making music, you don't want to use a potato with scratchy quality. Then step number two, give your music to people that are interested in that type of thing. Step number three, if you've done all that and they're still not interested, or they have a uppity attitude of, oh, you need a $5,000 piano for me to listen to you, then don't give it to that guy. Give it to the guy sitting next to him. Give it to the guy sitting next to him. Give it to other people. Fuck that guy. Responses, Chris. I am the way I am. No guerrilla marketing. He needs Cher or Samson mic with dynamics. But I don't know anything about that shit, bro. The only reason I got this Yeti one is because one of my gaming buddies told me to get it. Like, Zam, you're fucking, because I would always have different headsets, but sometimes their mics would get shitty and they're like, bro, just get a fucking Yeti. And I got the Yeti and they were like, oh, now you sound good. Not Samsung, Samson. I want Samson. Take me to the moon like that bitch, Alec Ramson. Who was that? That was who said that? Oh, that was Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle when he was still a skinny guy before he fucking went to Africa and came back 2 inches taller and like 60 pounds heavier. And depressed. He came back looking old, depressed, and different. His whole body looked different. Set us totally free. You think we're close, Ryuri? I don't know. And what if Ryuri? But what? Okay, so every time we hear the truth, it's bad news. The closer we get to the truth, the harder it gets. Sent a sticker wave. Infinite corridors. Sent a sticker wave. What up, Infinite? All right. So, what was I talking about? Oh, so then you would have to assume if every time you get closer to the truth, it gets worse, but it's dark, 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 dark. So the ultimate truth must be horrible news. So the ultimate truth is we're in hell. Now what do we do with it? What could we do with the ultimate truth? It's just dark, bad news. I don't know. If Paul shares some good piano vids, I'm sure we support him as a group. Oh, yeah. Paul's saying you should just randomly show up in people's houses unannounced and begin playing piano at them, whether they want it or not. Okay, no name. Crack pipe time. Thank you, no name. Crack pipe. Yeah, I mean, sounds like a shitty situation for me, but whatever. I'll let this conversation change subject. Yeah, let's change the subject. Paul is a great pianist that doesn't have great equipment, and that's it. Relax and hold on to humanity before going demon. Wish I had a pipe. I have nothing to alleviate the pain. I'm sorry, Curious G. You in Florida, bro? I'll drive over to you right now. I got enough gas money to go anywhere in Florida right now. I'll drive over to you right now with this bag and we'll fucking smoke this bowl together, motherfucker. Where you at? Hey, man, just to let you know, my YouTube name is Gnostic Jedi. Oh, okay. Shit, I may have to. Shit, anyways. Drive to this. Yeah, I mean, sounds like a shit. Relax. Drive to this area. I'll smoke myself fucking retarded. T, you're in Pennsylvania still, aren't you? Such a brilliant name, Gnostic Jedi. Yeah, I like that name too. Is that the Gnostic that I always talk to? Is that who that is? Why isn't he in the chat? I don't see him. Oh, you're in the UK? Godly. Bro, go see if Michael Bisping smokes weed, bro. Oh, no, he's in America. Who's in the UK right now? Oh, Tyson Fury, I'm pretty sure smokes weed. Oh, I'll smoke myself unretarded. Godly. I do want to smoke hella weed right now. Yeah, man, I got this little shitty Dr. Pepper and some more coffee to give me a fucking headache. I'm in the UK, front row. I'll smoke myself. Nah, bro. This reality is that, though. We should all, man, fuck it. Let's do it. Everybody, we're going to put all our money into one account. We're all going to fly to the same location. We're all going to get together. Once all the plane tickets are paid for, then we'll divvy out the rest of the money. And we're all going to go get hella drugs. And then we're all going to come back to the beach or wherever we're hanging out. And we're going to sit there on lawn chairs in a circle, passing around joints, passing around crack pipes, passing around heroin needles. And we'll just get so fucked up and twisted. And then when we're all done being high and fucked up, we'll come back to the Dookie Boy realm. Yes, let death target us all at once. Put all our money into. Hey, now I'm saying to drink the Kool-Aid just in a little different way. We shall have a giant monumental orgy. No, I think we should all get together and fucking water fast, and just fucking refuse this reality. Refuse to feed the body, like protest this reality and its situation the best way we can. What else are we going to do? Like, what could we do? Give me a practical thing we can do. You say, Chris, keep spreading truth, but man, I don't know if it makes a difference. I don't think my truth reaches people anyways. I think other people reach the truth and then they find me. I think that's the way it works. Facts are more relevant. And that's what we should. What if we're so mentally drained that fasting is unpractical? No, Paul, when you fast, you get your mental abilities back, not worse. What up? I was feeling ill for a bit. Back for now. What up, Gnostic Jedi? You son of a bitch. I'm sorry I said your name. I'm sorry. Dude, I said it. I was just on stream and I was like, what? And I just read it out loud. I'm like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have said that shit. But anyway, sorry about that, Infinite. In past, I really enjoy weed, but the demiurge said no and gave me panic attacks. That fucking demiurge, Brooks, so go back and smoke a whole blunt and just sit there and panic like this. And hit that shit again. And then the panic kick your mind. And then if you do that long enough, eventually your brain goes, and you're like, why am I panicking? There's nothing to panic about. And then you're like, and you're in this weird mind state. And then you don't panic anymore. Autophagia? What the fuck's that mean? Body digests and recycles cells in foreign matter. Oh, that's what autophagia. I knew it sounded familiar. I was like, what the fuck is that? That's like some damn, what are you in the microbiology over there, T? Body digests and recycle cells in foreign matter. Paul, I'll help us market yourself. Dude, look how fucking good T is trying to help Paul. Magnificent accent imitations as usual. Who does accent imitation? Oh, me? Do I do accent imitations? Oh, I guess I do, don't I? When I talk with accents. Oh, yeah, I guess I do. I wish I was better at, like, the European ones. Oh, dude, I'm sorry, Shallon. Did my screen blow your head up? That was the solution for real. Dude, I'm telling you. I've done that before. I've sat in the chaos of the panic attack and just, like, vibrated a different frequency out of it. I'm just like, bro, fuck this. Why am I dealing with this? Thank you, No Name. We should do something unexpected like Truman did. Dude, that's what I was saying, Curious G. Dude, man, see, I'm telling you, bro. We need to put our money together, get an RV, like 10 of us sweaty, weird conspiracy theorists in a fucking aluminum foil surrounded RV driving through the country. And we'll go into fucking random neighborhoods, bro. And we'll be like, shh, watch. And there'll be nobody there. And we'll look down the little picket white fence, white street. There'll be nothing. And then all of a sudden,
all the actors come into play. They'll come out, there'll be water in the grass, there'll be dogs playing frisbee with a kid, there'll be, kids walking to school with their fucking backpacks, and we'll laugh and we'll go see it's a fucking Truman Show. I told you, Curious, look at these fucking NPCs. I offered, but this group is eye to shutting on shitty realm. What? But music lovers and musicians would be interested. I didn't want to tell you this, Paul, but just a heads up, T's actually made me really good at piano too, bro. I mean, I didn't want to tell you that, but dude, when he plays piano, that shit's incredible. No, I'm just kidding. He can't play piano. He plays guitar, I think. I'm good. I'm a lone musician appreciating this one dead pianist. Bro, quit focusing on this dead dude. He is unappreciated in his music and time. It's okay, Paul. So, bro, Paul, you have a gift. We can do that by stop pretending and speaking our truth in small doses to everyone. Yes, I try to do that, Shallon. You are right. You have to break out of the mind control and be the most beautiful, happy, nice version of yourself and put that into the realm, because that's the only place good exists. Nobody feels the same way I do, floating in the world of dreams and imagination. When I hear him play and tend to be passionate about it. Oh, I get it, but I get it from hearing something else. Bro, you are literally describing how Burning Man started. Just a bunch of hippies drove out the desert to do a heap of drugs. Laugh out loud. I don't blame them. It sounds more interesting than doing the whole Matrix rat race thing again. Do you know Vladislav Spillman? Paul, do you know who Vladislav Spillman is, bro? Actually, fuck that. Do you know who Dimebag Darrell is, bro? Go listen to Pepper Keenan. Fuck all that piano shit. Listen to what I tell you to listen to. You need to be interested in what I'm interested in, Paul. So fuck all this piano shit. Listen to grunge. Listen to Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots. Who's the other motherfucker? Eddie. What was his name? Eddie Vader. Oh, Pearl Jam. Oh, Nirvana, for Christ. I almost forgot Nirvana, for Christ's sakes. Nirvana. Oh, listen to yeah, dude. That's what you need to listen to is no, not Lake of Fire. Listen to Plateau. Nothing on the top but a bucket and a mop and an illustrated book about birds. See a lot up there, but don't be scared. Who needs action when you got words? I don't know, Ryrie. I don't know, bro. I don't know about that. Like that, you can say that, and it is true. Thinking that something is evil is what makes it evil. That's true. But if some dude's like trafficking children for their organs to profit and make money, that's observably evil, bro. Like, there's no way to go, well, you just don't see it. You don't see the good in it. Look, that poor kid's heart kept that other millionaire's kid living longer. Don't you see the good in it, though? It's like, no, it's evil. Like, objectively fucking evil, bro. I don't know, man. I think evil is observable. It's easy to see. It's easy to identify. It ain't complicated at all, bro. When I see evil, I see it easy. It's easy for me to see evil. Pure evil. There's some nasty motherfuckers in this realm, bro. Some demons walking around this bitch. It's kids' heart, not the rich kids. T, I said that to emphasize the fact that some poor kid somewhere is losing their life and organ, so some financially stable kid somewhere else can keep living. That was a sarcastic joke. If you must, you shall meditate in this supreme darkness, contemplating the void, as Serenity conjures upon your soul to dark ambient temple occult music as you imagine forgotten gods of time. Yeah, Vazen has his whole little stick too. Geez, I don't know if I want to do all that. T said, I know. Oh, then I'm the one that doesn't know. It's the kid's heart, not the rich kids. Working a blue collar job with people have personalities like this chat could actually be fun, even if it was wage slave. Yeah, yeah. Brooke, when you have great coworkers, bro, that makes a world of difference, dude. That makes going to work like dealable with. People don't understand. I got to go see some of my old coworkers. I haven't seen them in a minute, but just life's been busy. People don't understand right and ownership. The people who want to be famous the most are the same people scared to be hated. They hide behind titles and stage names to hide behind a fragile sense of self. Absolutely, Ray. I couldn't have said that better myself. I don't know, man. Like organ harvesting being a bad thing is just like your opinion. And life goes on. If omnipotent beings thinking good and evil doesn't matter, I think don't mad at me. Wait, what? I'm not mad at you. If omnipotent beings thinking good and evil doesn't matter, I think don't mad at me. What? I don't really understand. Whoa! When did Loon say that? That'd be cool if I could get Loon on stream. I know Vazen would love that. He loves Loon. That's his favorite person, bro. He likes Loon even more than he likes me. I'm like, bro, the fuck is that about? I personally love getting my No, you're funny, bro. If you're autistic, you're a funny autistic. I think you could be a comedian on stage, bro. You're funny. If omnipotent beings thinking good and evil doesn't matter, I think dumb. Because, dude, honestly, it's hard to see humor in comments, but you're actually good enough. You're witty. You're good enough. I can see it. But he's like, why do you want to be seen so much online? Obsessing over likes and followers on a screen. What kind of psychotic shit is that? And for what? To congest your hollow shell of a void? He thinks above good and evil and human stuff. Man, what is going on? I can't even tell what's happening in the conversation right now. What's happening? I don't know what y'all are even talking about. I'm just out of place. Chris is very funny. He's so straightforward about it, too. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. He thinks of both good and evil. Paul, just so you know, I may also be autistic. For all I know, dude. For all I know, I heard I heard the trait of autistic people is to be brutally honest and straightforward. And I'm about that motherfucker. I don't know anybody more like that than me. But I thought it was just me being real. Does the ship paddle have to slap you right in the fucking face? You snap out of your stupidity. Amen. Vazen love Loon. Loon and Vazen sitting in a tree. KISSING. First came the kiss, then came the hug, then came all that motherfucking love. Actually, I couldn't remember the words, so I just created them. I couldn't remember what it was, but I remember that shit. Well, it was, yeah. Vazen and Loon sitting in a tree. KISSING. How did the rest of it go? No name I can't remember. He's justifying shit by saying doesn't matter. Oh, you might be right, T. I don't know. Hold on now, cowboy. I do not play favoritism. I like you both equally in different ways. For it be that you just stream a lot more often. Oh, yeah. I gotta admit it. I sort of love Loon too, bro. She's a very lovable person. Well, brutal honesty is required these days with all the deception. Absolutely. So thank you. You're welcome, Paul. Thank you for being understanding of my brutal honesty. Sometimes it hurts people or scares them away, but I don't know how else to be. I'm not good at acting a role, or I mean, unless I'm actually acting, then I think I'm actually decent at it. I think I could honestly. I mean, I don't know what role I would act. I'd be like an extra. If they ever made a Grand Theft Auto movie, I'd be one of the dudes in the trailer park with the teeth. I'd just be smiling in the whole thing, playing the banjo. You ever hear what it's like to squeal like a pig? Have me in some like redneck background. Oh, just kidding me. Oh, I know he was kidding. Do not worry. I do got to get better with my fucking European accents, though. Hey, yeah, fucking dickhead. Fucking, I said it wrong, anyways. Fucking dickhead. Why do I love that one? So I don't know. I love that one, dude. The way Australians say dickhead is so awesome. How do New Zealanders say dickhead? Fucking dickhead. Whoa, dude. Oh, I see what's going on here. Wait, is that what's going on here? Is this general chat of my Discord? Oh, everybody's saying hi in my general. Why don't they come in? Well, hey, if y'all are watching, come in the motherfucker, man. I'll come in too and we'll talk. Or if you guys are willing or whatever, if you guys want to be on stream. Don't do it, Brooke. If we omnipotent being, would good and evil matter? Like playing GTA doesn't care about NPC. Oh yeah, okay. Well, yeah. Now that's a different argument. Yeah, then you're right. Build reality for fun. I think good and evil is for limits for Survivor. Okay, yeah. If this is a simulation, then yeah, you're right. Good and evil doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters from our perspective. It sucks for us to experience evil and deal with it and be subjected to it. But I'm still trying to practice my custom posh accent. This regular accent, American accent, can be boring as hell. Oh, did you guys know? And I'm not making this up. I know this is going to sound crazy, but it's not practice. It's not talked about. But if you ever get sick of being you, you can literally take on the role of another person and become that person and leave the old you behind if you really wanted to. Technically, you're not even stuck in that character you've created. Really, you can even escape that too. Psych, I wasn't kidding, Basin. I was dead serious. About what? Oh, you're an Indian giver. What do you mean, psych? Dude, this guy's he's one of them dudes that's like, here, I want you to have this thing. And you take it, you're like, thanks. And he's like, give that back to me. That's mine. You're like, bro, chill then, motherfucker. What'd you give it to me for? I see you, No Name. Let's talk, guys. If you say so. No Name, don't play no games. Oh, shit. No Name's saying he don't play no games. But no aura, I'd be naked, Rays. Whoa, what are y'all talking about? I'm out of the... Fuck this conversation at this point. I don't even know what the fuck's going on. Y'all trolling me? Like, yo, hey, if he misses this comment, hey, guys, just say random shit and see how he responds to it. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Nature does not give a shit about your morals or principles or values or whatever. You can be the most angelic or devilish being ever, and then what? It throws plagues at you, chaos, erosion, etc. Well, you can also just be a miserable cunt for the rest of your life, and all that shit's gonna happen anyways, too, but No Name, a crazy mofo. Oh, shit. I better quit playing games with No Name before this fool pulls out that strap and straight sweats a brother and leaves me ass up in a puddle of blood. Nobody so crazy, or No Name so crazy, he speaks about himself in third person. Man, this shit's getting intense, man. Somebody call the paddy wagon. They'll say, well, what's the guy's name? And you'll just have to sit on the line nodding your head like this. Infuriated that No Name has yet again outsmarted you with his intellect. Chris, how are you joining to speak with you? Oh, no, Chris, how are people joining? Are you on my friends? Oh no, yeah, of course you're on my friend. Oh, infinite, right? I could just call you. You're on my friends. I just talked to you in Discord. I could just call you on Discord. I am the paddy wagon mofo. Damn, this dude's so crazy. He is the vehicle that gets called to pick him up to take him to the mental hospital. Oh God! Oh shit! I'm sorry. I shouldn't do that. Does that really fuck with your guys' headphones or whatever users or whatever? Is that really super loud? Because when I listen to the videos back, when I scream, it almost seems like my microphone has this built-in ability to like lower the volume to where it doesn't get so loud. Am I wrong about that? Because then I'll see people say, "Oh fuck, headphone users talk about game theory and the essence of winning through suffering." The essence of winning through suffering? I don't know about that. I'm a remote. If that's true, bro, I should have won a long time ago. I don't know what I should. I'm sure won something. I'm a remote, and I can confirm lizards harvest humans and feast on their organs. Okay, that sucks. Race, can you please tell me? Oh God, dude, man, this dude. You're trying to bring out my transformation again, bro. Shall you no names speak so fierce, typing with them raggedy ass fingers? You got them bitches built like celery sticks, you oopa loopa looking ass son of a bitch. Damn, what the fuck? Damn, is no name pissing you off, Basin? What happened? What am I missing here? Dude, telepathy, mate. No name, definitely. Dude, that was one of the hardest shits dude, Basin, that's gotta be one of the hardest shits I've ever read, though. How you, no name, speak so fierce, typing with them raggedy ass fingers you got, them bitches like celery sticks, you oopa looping looking ass son of a bitch. Damn, my goodness. Bro, you're like a jive brother from the fucking 60s, like with an afro and sunglasses and fucking colorful shit. Bro, Vazen's reborn. You sound like Jimi Hendrix cursing somebody out just now. That's through telepathy, mate. Whoa. Definitely experiencing a manic episode. Oh, dude, he's just funny. No name's funny, bro. He's autistic and funny. Oh, God, the Dark Lord is... Not yet. Not yet. He's still building up his nut juices for his ejaculation, bro. Right? To extend my conversations like the creator doesn't give a fuck about us. It's just a game. Absolutely, Ryrie. The creator is sort of like that dude Saul in the Saw movie. Paul Zhang said, laugh out loud. Paul Zhang sees your suffering as something to laugh at, Ryrie. I'm just kidding, Paul. I'm just kidding, Ryrie. I'm just joking. You wouldn't believe it, but I am a manic episode, brother. Whoa, dude, I wish. I've heard about manic episodes. I'm like, bro, that sounds interesting. You said you would like to play devil's advocate. It's a monumental feat to admit that suffering is possibly justified. I propose the yugas are mostly in the times of comfortable spirituality. They may be. They may be. They've come to terms with that this is a hell realm. Bro, I am crying laughing now, bro. I know you are, no name. I just got verbally assaulted. Haha. Dude, Basin had just about enough. He was like, fool, I've been telling you, oh, job turkey ass. Shut your ass up when I'm speaking, motherfucker. With them little pudgy fingers you got tapping that keyboard. Fuck about my face with that shit, man. He's like, God, he's mad as fuck. Well, I was kidding. My bad if that got... Dude, you did come off, huh? Dude, it was hard. However, we were just getting started with your heavy-duty lawn chair body-built asses out here looking like you eat cow feces. Dude, who, me? Why are you picking on me, bro? I'm not built. I'm skinny. For dinner, I'm still in this state of playing devil's advocate. In fact, I would do that despite all the suffering. Truth doesn't discriminate against feelings. That's true, Paul. You're in hell, and the devil wants you to know that everything you care about doesn't matter in his presence. He's going to eat your fucking soul for everybody. Deflated football. I mean, let's get full dark. Fuck it. Let's go full on. Fuck it. We're all in hell. Let's fucking vomit out green slime in the presence of pure filth. Let's not. I don't want to talk about it. Fuck this Dookie boy rum. It's a shithole. Not even worth taking serious. Deflated football head ass, hockey stick leg asses smell like you've been living in a dumpster for eternity. Damn. With your injured ass. How many brothers do you have, Vason? Jesus Christ. With your injured F-22 fighter jet engine smelling ass, turtleneck ass. God damn. I hate turtle. I hate V-necks and turtlenecks. I hate that. I think it looks stupid. Or a really loose neck. Like people will grab their shirt and keep pulling it and then it just like hangs. That looks so silly. Being content in a hell realm is a superpower, isn't it, bro? It's funny, Race, when I actually think about or being content, when I actually think about the rare type of individual that we all actually are, though, I guess it is sort of special or rare, at least rare. I'm glad my English is mid-low level, maybe. I don't even realize when I'm being roasted like Usyk versus Fury. Dude, Usyk's kind of funny, isn't he? He's kind of funny. I've seen some clips of him being goofy. He's funny. And once again, just playing with your ass, love. He loves you. He just likes talking that shit. He's like me, bro. He's a shit talker. Fool, shut up with your old dragon breath ass smelling like dog shit coming off your tonsils, motherfucker. Close your goddamn mouth. You're going to breathe out that dog shit. He's one of those people. Basin just picked up his dictionary and threw it at me. Nobody is safe from here. Not even autistic. Paul. Oh my God. Bro, this motherfucker is losing his mind, bro. That ain't even funny, dude. Jesus Christ. Bro, running a stream ain't easy, bro. This is like feels like a responsibility, bro. Like, y'all are fucking driving me crazy, man. I've had this dark thought that the most injured soul on earth in history will need to be recognized agnostically by all. This means in the conscious awareness paradigm of the purpose of consciousness expansion, everyone will need to live the same level of pain as that person, and until then they cannot enter paradise. Yes, that's what makes Usyk funny. Dude, no name's funny, bro. That motherfucker is funny as hell. The propagation of the abuse of Abel is continuous until it is integrated. We see it in the mythology of Joseph, Jesus, and whatever. What is happening? Damn, can we stop this? What happened, Paul? Did you just randomly ask me how many brothers I have? I don't know. Okay, then. But 2 brothers, 1 sister, and I hardly speak their names, but you live in Taurus. And I say that because usually shit talkers, people that are really good at shit talkers, were usually somebody's little brother. They were bullied by some sort of sibling. To become a magnificent shit talker, you got to have dealt with some fucking bully ass siblings. And my bad, dude was just messing. Oh yeah, Paul, he's just joking around, dude. I keep saying he's joking. I mean, I thought it was, well, even it doesn't matter. The benevolent exists. There's still hope. Well, yeah, Ryuri, there's still hope because we exist. If we leave with this place with whatever essence we are, we're still full of love and light and positivity and abundance and happiness. And I think, I don't know, unless our essence is just completely trapped in another hell realm after this one. I'll shut up now. No name. It's all good. Anyway, I don't see where this is going, but it's fun for a while. First Bill Bob. All right. Paul's had just enough picking on him. It's all right, Paul. I'm sorry, dude. Chris, I have one thing I'd like to talk on Discord with you about if you want. Sure, dude. Wait, Gnostic Jedi is Infinite Corridors, right? Isn't that what you just told me? Here, let me call you. How do I call this motherfucker? I thought you used to. Didn't you used to be able to just click somebody's name, or I'm sorry, right click somebody's name, and it would say call them on Discord? Didn't that used to be a thing? Speak messages, copy message, mark on red, apps, pin, copy text thread, reply, add reaction. I closed the live stream because I'm on my phone. Oh, okay. Okay. Infinite, let me just ask him. Infinite, if you're watching this, are you closed the live stream? Bro, how do I call you on this thing? Like, I can see you talking to me. I thought it used to be I just right click your name and it would say call this person, but I don't see it. Ooh, man, my gut's just fucking. Ooh, man. How do you call motherfuckers on here, bro? Hold on one sec. Just give me 1 sec, guys. I'm not really looking at chat right now, or. Oh. Call. What up, Infinite?
Oh?
What up, dude?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, man?
I'm good. So you figured it out, huh? Tricky button.
Yeah. I was trying to call you from general chat, and I didn't realize you guys were talking in the general chat of my Discord. I was getting messages and shit. I thought I was getting direct messages, so I was trying to right click that, and then I went out to friends and seeing you there. I was like, oh, can I call from this fucking direct messages? Yeah, I figured it out. What's up, man?
I was gonna mention I did actually have another channel with the other name, the IC name, but I erased it and started the Gnostic Jedi one. But the thing I wanted to talk about was all this like antinatalism and like you call it the Dark Lord, people call it the Demiurge, the Archons. It's just like I was thinking maybe it's like a I don't know a quality of consciousness test or something. Although I'm not going to call it a school like some of these New Agers do, but maybe the idea is the beings that go through a human life here and they end up before they die, before they pass on from here. They get so fed up with this place, just all of it, because it's just so fucking unacceptable. Just everything is unacceptable here.
Mm-hmm.
So then they reject it, like all of it, even if they have addictions or whatever, they still reject it. And then they die and pass on in a state of rejecting everything here. Maybe in an afterlife from or moving on somewhere, they can't be like deceived to come back here. Because what are these beings going to sell you if you don't want anything from this place? They were like, you'll be 7 feet tall, you'll be an elite, like a wealthy bloodline, and it's like, no, I don't want any of it. You know, if you don't want anything from this place, then does that mean you're done with it and you just got to go somewhere else?
I think so. I think so. That's why one of my arguments was that, guys, we're just no longer energetically aligned with this place, is a good way to say it. Is like when this place has nothing left for you, you could say, well, now I'm just bored and depressed and miserable. Or you could say you're extremely advanced and you're past a realm like this. And I understand the argument, but I'm still here and it sucks. I get that. So am I. But it could be that there's the souls that are actually the most, that's what I say, maybe the people that are depressed or struggling are actually the most advanced souls here. We label it as a derogatory term. Oh, that person's depressed. Why? Because they're not happy in a shallow, fucking meaningless reality. They're not depressed. They're normal. We just labeled them as something negative. But no, they're actually just advanced souls that see things the way that they actually are. But yeah, I think we're past this realm. I really don't think we're trapped here. I just, and if the average person is trapped here, I'll say this then. I don't think we are trapped here. Everybody watching this, everybody has an understanding of this. I don't think that we're going to get trapped. I don't think it's possible.
Yeah. Yeah, this place is, I mean, it's so, I'll mention one thing that's happened. I think I've mentioned it in your comments before. It's kind of a different topic, but related. even this place is so, I don't know what's wrong with it. Like, it's so infested with whatever you call it, insectoid beings, or like the AI, hive mind, whatever this thing is that went wrong here. Even my actual dreams, when this body slumbers at night, for like the past decade, my dreams have been seemingly manipulated against my will by some nefarious intelligence in like terrible ways. And I can't determine, because people will tell me, oh, it's your subconscious, it's your fears. And it's like, but the way this happens though, it's not like that. It's not me. It seems like it's external, you know? I don't know, it's just something to mention. I don't know. Do any of your viewers have that happening? Like their dreams get manipulated?
Yeah. Quite a few have told me about their dreams being manipulated. And I also dealt with, I would constantly become lucid in my dreams when I was young. And every time I would become conscious, if I had said the words out loud, this is a dream, everything would devour me. Like, it doesn't matter who was sitting there. It could be my mom, my brothers, you know, the dog, everything in the room would look at me. And that just, it's weird that a baby's mind would create this scenario and do this to him and basically work this part of him out of himself. Because what it really did is it terrified me. Eventually, it like almost made me where I stopped becoming lucid in my dreams. It really worked out because, I mean, you become terrified every single night. You go, oh, this, you realize this is a dream, and you say, and they all turn into monsters and eat you. And then I would literally like feel them, like I would have my eyes closed and I would feel them like moving my guts around. It was just it was a disgusting experience. So it worked going lucid out of me. So yeah, my dreams felt like they were infiltrated or being manipulated by some sort of external entity that gave no fuck in its mind or heart about my level of happiness or satisfaction. Just felt like it was tormenting me.
Damn, man, what the hell's wrong with this place? I mean, that's basically some kind of intelligence or technology or combination in that sense, or in that case. And I'm sure it probably happens to more people than we think, but that's making it to where now the subconscious mind itself is afraid of being lucid. I mean, because whenever I've had more periods of days or weeks or months of more lucidity in general, when this body's sleeping, what I was doing for a practice was I would go throughout my day here every day, and I would just tell myself, and it's called like metacognition, like it's a form of meditation. With my eyes open here, I would say, I'm dreaming right now. This is a dream. And I would like, you know, touch the table, touch the wall, touch the light, or whatever the thing is. And you touch it, touch your clothes, touch your hands together. And you really think for a minute as you're doing it, hyperlucidity. Is this a dream? And you touch your hand, try to put your fingers through your hand, try to like do telekinesis and stuff. And you get that going. And then the goal is to have it take over and go when you're sleeping, you know? But I'm not saying it's easy, but that's one trick to get lucid.
So wait, I'm sorry. I misunderstood this. So what was the trick? It went over my head.
When you're awake here, and you have to do this for like at least a couple days, but if you make it weeks into like a month or two and keep going, it will be more effective overall. You just, throughout the day, like every day, like every couple minutes, every 5 or 10 minutes, if you can remember, you can get a totem, like wear a ring or a pendant or something. So every time you see it or touch it, whatever this thing is, it will give you a moment to remember what you're asking yourself. And you ask, am I dreaming right now? Or you say, this is a dream. This is a dream. I'm dreaming right now. I'm lucid in a dream. And you test the realm. Like you try to move something with telekinesis. You try to shape your body, try to levitate. And then if you do that enough, it's called a reality check. Basically, you're doing a reality check in this world, and then it carries over into the sleep. Because in some sense, I'm pretty convinced that this place actually is or was originally just another astral realm. But whatever infected this place, like this insectoid hive mind or this AI, whatever happened here, it created some kind of technological frequency fits. You could tie this in with that whole Saturn moon matrix or the pyramids. I mean, I don't know the details, but I think they basically cut this place off from the rest of the greater cosmos and reflected the energy of this place back to itself in a repeating loop, which made it denser and appear physical. Because there's no reason we shouldn't have kinetic abilities, telekinesis, levitation, teleportation. And the fact that we don't have that, but you can have it if you're lucid in your dreams and the astrals, that one thing is what makes us not able to defeat evil with a group of people. Because I guarantee you, if you had 5 or 10 or 20, 100 people with those abilities, there's no more dark cabal within a few days or weeks, month or two tops, and then everyone's free. And so this is at the root, in my opinion, of what's wrong with this realm is somehow they created a frequency fence. I'm not saying I understand it because I don't, not completely, but they cut off this portion of existence from the greater existence in the etheric energy or something. And so we're in like, or you could say it got quarantined maybe, and that's what did it. I don't know, but it's not fun. It's not funny because there's innocent beings here suffering, and there's good beings being tortured and innocent beings being tortured. And then when I was needed the most help in a life or death situation, I prayed to the God I believed in. Silence, dude. No answer came. So I had to really, I lived, but I had to really change how I viewed existence. That was about 4 years ago, and now I'm like, wow, I have no God belief anymore, and I feel I'm just floating like in a place I don't know where I am. Because if it's a globe, you're just on a ball and nothing. You're just nowhere. And if it's a flat plane, you don't know where you are. You're just nowhere. So no answers come, no matter where I look. It makes no sense. This place makes no sense.
Yeah, the whole reality is truly like a very, very complicated, intricate mind maze of confusion to keep it not making sense. Matter of fact, the more questions you ask, the more complicated it gets, the more questions you walk away with. It's done in a very well way to trap the mind or the soul, whatever's going on here. Why? And I've heard about this frequency fence for years. I've heard people say that it's a part of the firmament, or no, there's some sort of electric grid fence that goes around and traps souls in here. I've heard that. So have you seen it? Why do you believe it personally?
Well, okay. You've mentioned, let me answer it like this. So in one of your videos talking about that, I think you covered the the cities and stuff after death. You covered that video like almost a year ago. And
Yeah.
You mentioned in that video about getting a group of people together around like a cup of water for an experiment to do telekinesis.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all I'll say is about probably 10 years ago now, I actually started experimenting with telekinesis on small objects like aluminum side wheels and playing with the wind and feathers and stuff. And it did actually take me about a month, but I started getting some small results. Stuff was actually responding to me. And I don't do it much anymore. I had videos on my last channel. I had a video, and what was weird is when it showed a demonstration of basic telekinesis / aerokinesis, because I did it outside, so there was some wind, but I explained it all. Your heart creates an electromagnetic field. It's soul mass. The more you ground yourself and develop your soul mass, the stronger your electromagnetic field gets from your heart, because the heart is 10,000 times stronger than the brain electromagnetically. And at some point in the past, we must have had information about how to manipulate our heart field to do more abilities, but I think they keep that information in the Vatican, is the best I can tell. But you can work with it and start to move some small objects. But so I know that some of these abilities are possible here, but the reason I think there's a frequency fence is because it's not widely available, and it seems to be a direct, conscious, aware intelligence or multiple intelligences that actively push back against me and other people when they try to use these abilities. And this might sound far out if people don't believe what I'm saying. That's completely acceptable. I wouldn't believe it, except I did this stuff for myself for the past 10 years. And I even showed people in my family actually basic telekinesis. And what's weird, and this part I don't understand, is every time I demonstrated to them in person successful basic telekinesis on small objects, they would go, oh, that's interesting. And then they would not talk about it as if it never happened, which I don't understand. That happened multiple times.
They didn't truly believe it. They didn't truly believe it. They thought it was a coincidence.
I don't know, man. It's very weird. But it's not like I'm some super powerful being with abilities. Yeah, we're super powerful with spirit and with energy, but the ability level here is locked the F down. We got to get that back, or just keep our gnosis and our awareness, I guess, as we transition, as the animal body dies. It might be very hard to do this.
What
I
is?
can't say I
What
know
do you think
exactly
is
where
the
we are,
reason?
but
What do you
kind of
think is
being
the
hopeful
reason?
now.
I'm sorry. So
Huh?
what do you think is the reason? Well, first off, who do you think is holding us down? What do you think is the reason of them holding us down? You take on like the Gnostic usually, it's the archons and they're feeding off of us. Why are what appears to be souls trapped here?
Yeah, I guess it depends partly on the definition. I've heard, I'll say soul or spirit. Some people say
Yeah,
there's a
spirit.
difference. The soul is like the container vessel that's in the blood. And so the spirit is in the heart. It's a very powerful light or flame in the heart itself. And that's where the consciousness comes from or resides. And it's held in place in the body through the blood. And so if you bleed out, your soul leaves your body. That's the metaphor the ancients would say. You bleed someone out, their soul, they bled out, their soul left their body.
Yeah.
And that's one metaphor. The blood could be a containment vessel. But why? Hard to answer, because I kind of say, like, look at humans, how they farm animals for sustenance. But I took this as far as it could go. I thought, okay, so if animals eat animals and plants, humans eat animals and plants, and then to me, it's obvious humanity is not at the top of the food chain here. We are from what we see, but not energetically. So if there is archon or extraterrestrial or intelligence, interdimensional beings that feed on humanity and farm the world, okay, well then they're getting sustenance from the humans and the animals and everything lower. But then logically, if they're controlling this matrix and they're feeding on all of that stuff below them, then they're slaves to the matrix because they have to keep controlling it to survive. So if there's something above them, like a demiurge or a god, then it's going to be slave to keeping them under control and the matrix, then the humans and the animals. And if you keep going up, 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 you eventually get to a place where if there is like a supreme god, it either controls everything and feeds on everything for its own sustenance, or it created this place and then I guess turned its back on it and went and did something else, and it's not even intervening. I don't know. That's basically what I thought about.
Yeah, I guess the reason I ask is it's I guess it's just hard for the average mind to fathom a farm like that, because you can say, well, look at how we farm chickens and cows. And I say, well, yeah, but when I look at that, I see what happens. We take the chickens, we grow them up to get nice, fat, and plump. We chop their heads off, we consume their meat, and we keep living. But in the case of what's happening here, with us not being at the top of the food chain, we're actually dealing with some sort of extra dimension or unseen entities floating above the pyramid. And I say floating above because it almost seems like they're controlling our very essence or spirit, not just our physical bodies getting consumed where it's observable and practical. They seem to be consuming our emotions or spirit.
Yeah. Well, I'll say one more thing that makes it even more odd. I'll share an experience I had about 4 years ago. I focused single-mindedly for like 6 weeks 4 years ago when I was 33. Coincidentally, or by life script, I was 33. But for 6 weeks, I focused single-mindedly on feeling satisfied, relieved, content, loving, grateful, and whole and complete. And I meditated like 10 to 16 hours a day, just focused on that. And it became where it was becoming my normal state. And after about 6 weeks, I had this thing happen where, like, the boundary between myself and all other beings, animals, humans, plants, it like dissolved. And after this experience, I found out it was called samadhi, or what people refer to as samadhi, or a lot of these people call it non-duality. But the problem is it did feel like the barriers were gone, and I could see my own essence reflected in everyone else, and some kind of oneness. But I don't like to use that term, but I'm just trying to explain what it felt like.
Yeah, I felt that
But the
before.
problem is after 5 days of this, and things were manifesting fast. Like, I manifested a winning $200 scratch off ticket I found on the ground, and I went for a walk that morning, and I knew I was going to find something. And so stuff was manifesting super fast, and I didn't understand it. And then the part that gets really hard, and people kind of don't want to believe me or don't understand it, is these electromagnetic weapon drones appeared above my house and started hitting me with radiation and almost killed me. It took me 2 weeks to realize what was happening. And I had to build a shield out of sheet metal so I wouldn't die, so I could sleep under it. And they almost killed me. And every time since then, for the past 4 years, that I've raised my frequency back near bliss or samadhi again, because I know how to do it at will, the drones come back within a few hours or days and start hitting me with radiation again. So I'm not even allowed to raise my frequency. But that, and it sounds hard to believe, so you guys can believe whatever you want. I mean, if you get near samadhi, it'll probably happen to you, especially if you're at a high level of consciousness. But it proves to me that spirit is real, and for some reason they don't want me to have a high frequency where I can manifest stuff. So I know that there's something more than just material, for sure, for myself, because why would anything go through all of that if there wasn't more? So I don't know. I know it's a lot and it sounds whatever, but I wanted to share that with you. So.
No, I love shit like that. I find shit like that interesting on my channel. That's weird. I actually felt like I was, but I didn't know if it was coming from, I felt like I was also dealing with EMF attacks or something like that. I didn't think it was coming from drones. I just thought it was coming from the towers and shit that are all up and around or whatever. But I also dealt with something very similar to that. That's interesting. But I didn't know I wasn't doing what you were doing, like focusing on gratitude for 16 hours a day. I wasn't doing that. It was just a moment in my life. But I have done what you're talking about back when I was meditating, because, well, my brain kind of resorted to those feelings because they felt good, and I just got sick of feeling so depressed and miserable. So I personally started focusing on like gratitude and being thankful and appreciative, and kind of just try to sit in those, just because they just, in a nutshell, they just feel better to be that way. And so I guess I kind of did what you're saying, but I didn't have a moment where I was like feeling like I was about to level up or something, and then I got hit. I think I just got hit because I thought I was getting hit because I was doing YouTube videos or whatever. Not just me, even the other people in that home I was living in were also getting sick too. But
well, I mean, I'm not saying I'm like special like to anybody else. They'll target anybody if you raise your frequency too high, or like you said, you could be giving gnosis to people. Maybe they're like, all right, let's bring them down a little. But I mean, like, I didn't know that state of consciousness, what people call, or what I'm referring to as samadhi, because the best I could hear from other people's descriptions is it's called samadhi, this like quote unquote oneness where I saw my own essence reflected, but yet I still had my own sovereignty. So I wasn't like in a hive mind. I just didn't know that kind of level of consciousness ever could exist. I had no concept of that. I never experienced like that, even on mushrooms or LSD when I was younger. So this was a different thing. But I don't know. I mean, to me, it proves, why else would they spend energy on reducing people's frequency if there's not something more than just material? But I mean, even from like lucid dreams and astral projections, you could know there's more than just material. A lot of people still won't believe it, though. I guess you kind of have to have that personal experience and have it where, like, you see yourself sleeping or whatever, and then you come back to your body, and like, I don't know. There's just weird stuff here.
Dude,
very weird realm.
Yeah, it's a very bizarre realm. So did those aluminum plates actually help?
Oh yeah. I built a shield about 6 feet by 6 or 6 feet by 7, long and wide. I put it on some wood, and it had about, I would say, 4 or 5 millimeters of like aluminum and tin with no gaps. And because the drones, what they do is they get like 4 to 7 or 8 different drones, and they're high altitude, and they, not super high, but high enough to get you. They pinpoint like a super small fine beam of high power microwave radiation, and they all hit the same spot, which is usually the solar plexus. And together it equals about between 80 gigahertz and 120 gigahertz of microwave radiation, 80 billion to 120 billion millimeter cycles per second of microwave radiation. So they talk about copper mesh. That's not enough to attenuate it and block it. You got to use actual metal. A Faraday cage would be best, but I couldn't afford it, so I had to scrap it. And it took me about 2 weeks of getting hit by these things initially until I was like, what is this doom feeling? Because it literally cooks your body. It feels like a doom feeling. Terrible, worst feeling ever. And I looked up and started seeing drones, and I was like, are you kidding me? I researched it and found out what was happening. So Now they don't. If I start to go listen to music and get it to a bliss frequency, they'll come back within a few hours to days, and they'll hit me again. And I don't do it anymore because it hurts, and you can't really have a high frequency with that energy hitting you. It's not, your body won't do it because it's a survival thing, and also I just don't want to deal with it.
So
But
what's your plan?
like whatever, I don't know.
What is your plan now? Like to just say, well, fuck, I can't like advance out of this place. I'm trapped here. What are you like waiting to die to see if you can get out then, or like what's your plan then?
Yeah, good question. This place has nothing to offer me anymore. I mean, I tried. Another thing was I tried for a good 10 or 12 or more years, maybe 13 years, to manifest some basic things, or like some extra money and whatever, some like a better life here. And the Matrix, some kind of force or intelligence, say whatever you want, Archon, or I don't know what, I can't see it, but it actively works against me, and it continues trying to thwart any effort. So like was reading about law of assumption and Neville Goddard and all this manifestation stuff for like the past decade or 12 years, and these people are talking about, just assume and just shift into the parallel reality. They're talking about how every possible parallel version of yourself exists. So I tried it all, man. I tried it all and never really got to any kind of place where this stuff manifested. And so now I'm just sitting here like, okay, I guess I'm just going to hang in here and keep gaining gnosis until I make my transition. Hopefully I can do it lucid enough to not, because like I don't want to forget anything I've learned, like about mind control, black magic, whatever, sentient world simulation. I mentioned that to you like a week ago, and one of the things, a digital twin, remote neural monitoring. I mean, the technologies here literally map the EEG of the brain, the electroencephalogram, the neuronal firing remotely, and they literally have technology where they can interject your own mental voice in your head from a distance. You'll think it's your own voice. It sounds like your mental voice. And they can change manipulate your emotions and stuff. So you have to have metacognition and hyper awareness to be like, oh shit, like, oh, that wasn't my thought. Yeah, I know you talked about it before. You're like, whoa, where'd this thought come from? That's not me. And you identify it, you push back, you recenter. That happens to me a lot when I'm getting into deep meditation or when I'm sleeping. Falling asleep is when it really kicks in, and it's very aggravating. But as far as getting out of it, I just got to maintain, look for gnosis, and then I guess try to be ready for transition someday. I mean, I don't know what happens exactly. I haven't done that in my memory. I have no memory of before. Like, so I don't really know what to expect. Could be the absolute worst thing, or it could be something so good, maybe, that I have no comprehension in a human brain body of what it would be. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't really have an answer.
Yeah, that's usually what we talk about on this channel. Is this shit nobody has answers to. but so you said would you say it would be beneficial to people probably to build some, especially people in this community, to build some sort of like tin or iron or metal cage around their bed while they sleep at night? And well, I'm curious because I have what I feel like was something implemented on me. When you say, when I get to a certain point, these technologies show up and do this to me. I have something like that too, which is weird because I didn't have it before. I used to meditate constantly, like 16 hours a day, and for a long time, and I never had this issue. And then I started having this issue out of nowhere, where I had taken a break from meditation, and I started having this issue where every time I get to that point where I'm just about to break free and like leave the body, or what you could say is get into a deep meditation, I would yawn every time. And I could almost initiate a yawn within a few seconds. I could initiate another yawn within a few seconds. I can actually literally sit there and initiate yawns by trying to sort of tap out of reality into meditation. It's like, well, how did this happen? What this like? It feels like this yawn's like it's stopping me. Like it truly stops me every time. It stops me from truly meditating because it makes me yawn right when I'm about to fucking meditate. And it's like, well, where did that come from? It literally feels like some implanted fucking technology on me or something. But
like a forced yawn against your will.
Yeah, it just comes out. It's like I have no choice but to yawn. Like, when you yawn, you don't really choose it, have it just happens. It just happens like that. It makes me yawn every time. I'm just about to get there. I'm like, oh, I'm almost there, and then my body yawns. It's like, oh, that's great.
That's interesting. What I would say is, from my understanding and from years of experience in my own personal life, yawning generally is releasing of resistance from the subconscious mind, or getting information and affirmations effectively into the subconscious mind. That'll create yawning because it's opening the channel. I kind of view the body as the subconscious mind, and the conscious mind is like just the prefrontal cortex, the very front top part of the brain. I mean, in a sense here, how I view this place is what's happened here is like we've been inverted and flipped inside out. In some sense, some real sense, in my experience, the outside world and everybody else in your world is some aspect of you pushed out, like Neville Goddard said, everything is you pushed out. And that there is truth to that. But I don't know why. It's almost as if we've been like entered a mirror dimension to get into this place, and we've been inverted and flipped outside of ourselves. So then when you go to sleep here, the outside goes back within yourself, and the subconscious reverts back within, so it's drawing within. So then you're in the so-called astrals, where you can instantly manifest and materialize if you're lucid, because it's not outside of you anymore, it's inside of you. So you're like more whole. That's kind of weird. But as to why the yawning would happen, I mean, what I could say is, if you get deep enough in meditation to where you're talking about like where you feel like that moment of like a lucid dream or astral projection leaving your body is going to happen, you'd be around between 5 and maybe 7 hertz in brainwave activity. So if you had forced yawns, I don't know if that's manipulation by an intelligence or technology, or if maybe your subconscious mind is.
Bro, I didn't even think it was none of that. I didn't think it was none of that. I actually thought it was actually a Tony Sayers video that even made me ponder that. It just started happening to me. I'm like, why am I fucking yawning every time I'm about to start getting deep into my meditations? And it was actually Tony Sayers that said something about, he thinks like the chakras are actually like technology points that these entities plug into us. And I was like, man, these motherfuckers plug in some damn yawning fucking machine on me, or I'm just trying to make sense of what the hell is going on here. But I actually have to wrap this conversation up. I really appreciate you coming on and talking to me. And I'd like to continue this conversation because I have about 3 or 4 more questions right now off the top of my head I'd like to ask you. But before I wrap this conversation up, I mean, you did talk about some interesting stuff like the drone showing up, like you becoming conscious. But I also wanted to ask you, did you ever have an experience in your life that's sort of bizarre or strange phenomenon that you really just can't explain or wouldn't even bother explaining because you would end up looking crazy? Did you ever have a scenario in your life like that, some phenomenon that's unexplainable?
Yes, several of them, but let's save that for another talk. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's cool.
I'll think about it more, and I'll write out some stuff ahead of time so I can directly answer your question more accurately, because I don't really exactly, it's not clear right now. I'll have to like meditate on it and bring it back up, but there is some.
All right, you got it, brother. All right, appreciate you coming on and talking to me.
Yep.
All right, brother, you have a good one.
All right, thanks, buddy. Peace.
All right, guys. How'd the call go? It was a very happy call. Let's give him a fucking happy face. All right. Sorry, I am fucking hungry. No way. Is it really 72? What's 72? Why'd you guys say that? What's 72? I wasn't really paying attention to the chat too much, guys. I was more focused on the conversation, but that was interesting. I'm probably going to wrap this stream up now, guys. I'm getting kind of hungry. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to eat, man. I'll probably go get everywhere to go. It just feels like the food is dead or empty of nutrients. Like the only place I get food that I eat and feel energy from it is like the little Vietnamese place down the road from here. And then there's another actually Asian place down the road from that's Thai. And sometimes when I eat there, I feel like a little bit better. But man, lately everywhere I eat, it just feels like the fucking food is dead, bro. I ain't eating no motherfucking squirrel. I mean, there's plenty of them around. I mean, I don't see squirrels. Actually, where I live, where there's parts of Florida where there's hundreds of squirrels all around. I don't see them too often like I used to, but where I live now, I see other shit though. Where I live now, I see fish or whatever, fucking mullets, sheepheads, the manatees come all the time. Sometimes we get this gar that's like this fucking big. He just like comes and hangs out with his little weird grill, and we get turtles and sometimes frogs. We've actually had some really big frogs before too. Like we've had these fucking big giant frogs. We do get cougars or mountain lions or something like that. One of them big cats around here, but I haven't seen it. My neighbors did see it one time in the woods over there. What else do we get? Oh yeah, we get mosquitoes, fire ants, all the shit that'll drive you crazy. All those stupid little fucking flying bugs. We get them. I live on the water race. The Gulf of Mexico goes in front of my house, around, behind my house, sort of around on that side. More like corn research. I felt that. Corn research. What are y'all talking about? I'm about the fucking loot now. All right, guys. I'm probably gonna wrap this one up. All right. What the fuck is happening? All right. I'm kind of wondering that too, to be honest with you, Big Trouble. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this stream up, and I will catch you lovely motherfuckers on the next one. Goodbye, my friends.